is... All right. Oh no. Okay. Who in the party would your character prioritize rescuing in dire circumstances, and why?
Oh, now we need to roll and have this
Yeah.
question be about 2 specific characters.
Oh no. Okay,
Between who
sure,
and who?
sure.
Oh man.
Yeah, okay,
Oh,
we'll make it,
wow.
yeah, we'll go full Saw movie on this one. So think about that, knowing that you won't know who the other 2 characters you have to choose from are.
I mean, Reed's always going to choose himself. Let's be honest.
Wow. Oh, I don't think yourself is going to be one of the options. Well, you
It's
know what?
Option.
That would be fair if we did it as a. Anyways. So go ahead, somebody, for a point of DM inspiration, and summate what happened last time on the Curse of Strahd Daybreak.
I'm so full up on inspiration, so someone else can have it.
Oh, all right. How we're doing it is just, if you have an interest in doing this, throw a d20 into chat. That way you don't have to worry about social necessity, being polite, seeing if somebody else wants it. Just go for it. After 60 seconds have gone by, if I have not seen any volunteers, I will recap it, and I will just give the inspiration to Strahd. So, time is ticking down. Okay, nobody's volunteering. Okay.
Well,
all right,
shit
go.
then.
Oh, okay, Darius. It looks like you're full of inspiration, but for some reason you want to do the recap anyways. Okay, Darius.
I was working on it. I rolled a mighty
Oh,
good,
Who in their right mind wants to give the BBG? Oh wait, hold on.
fucking orb, that's who.
So, Tiernan, take it away, since you don't have maxed out inspiration.
All right. So we were at the manor, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we ended up having a dinner party, so to speak. We spent the entire time, instead of talking to the man who invited us to dinner, talking to the man who invited us to dinner, who we asked to also invite to dinner. Because he, we thought, was the one that sent us the invitations to the retreat that initially got us screwed up in this mess. We found out that we probably don't think it was actually him. He seemed okay. He is, however, in Strahd's employ, which Ismark isn't a super huge fan of. During that dinner, we learned that, oh yeah, hey, there's also this zombie, outbreak going on, no big deal. And we're like, maybe we should check that out before everyone's a zombie.
Mm-hmm.
Which, crazy novel idea in times like these. So we tried, actually. We bailed on dinner after it was mostly done. We did end up talking to Dirovich a little bit, but not really all that much. He's probably offended. We tried to arrange to stay there later, and he was like, we'll see. I don't know anything about you guys yet. So then anyway, we went to this hovel place where there was a dude that was very haphazardly tied to a bed. We tied him better, making sure not to get eaten. We fed him a pastry that made him fall asleep, which I think proved he was still human, or he was trying to fall asleep, or something like that. We medically examined him. We're like, yeah, no, this dude's fucking dead. He is not gonna make it through this. So we convinced them, no, we definitely need to take him somewhere else to make him better. We took him somewhere else. We did not mean to make him better. We just wanted to watch what happened. So we did, in shifts. We all had fun little character vignettes where we were like, hey, how you doing? We didn't get to learn what Mackenzie and Ireena talked about, which would have been hilarious because they don't seem giant fans of each other. And then the man changed into a zombie.
Okay. And
we all shot him to death using Ismark's things.
Fair enough. And I guess that's where we left off, was after this murder basement execution of a man turned into a zombie. Does that sound right?
More or less.
All right. Take your point of DM inspiration. Alrighty. So, does anybody volunteer? Throw dice at if you are interested in the Faxpiration question. Between these two randomly determined people, who would you save? Okay.
Oh shit! Give me my boon.
Damn.
All right.
My IRL boon for answering this question.
Your IRL boon.
Yes.
You are blessed with a successful career and a beautiful new wife.
Is this in addition to the one I have already?
Wow.
Or
You
to
know,
replace that one?
uh,
I think
You're
I-
moving to Utah.
I respect that lifestyle. It's a lot of work. If you're putting in the effort, good for you, bro. All
Why
right.
are you gonna do this to me? Now I have to go scrub the video.
Oh my god.
That's not scrub worthy. We've had one video in
Yeah,
the
I
whole
know.
history of the game, and that was when Taylor Swift showed up in Skull and Shackles.
Oh
That's
yeah.
the one video we had to edit for YouTube. So, anyways, all right, Tiernan, take it away. Your two people are going to be randomly determined by me looking at who is over here on the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so 6 will be you, Tiernan. Let's see. So 1 is going to be Eric, and then I guess 6 would I would just re-roll because there's only 5 of you. That's right. And Anna/Dana. All right, so you must choose between Eric and Dana/Anna.
Okay. Well, I mean, I think that's a decently easy choice.
You can only save 1.
I think I would choose Eric because Anna/Dana, like, there's weird shit going on there, and she's like a different person in someone else's body, but also still has some of her memories, but not really. So I think I would probably save Eric because at least Eric is still Eric.
Okay, fair enough.
Or am I?
Shit, never mind. I wouldn't save either of them.
All right, you may ask the same question of any NPC that you have met so far. We will roll 2 new results for them.
Okay. Let's ask Ismark.
All right.
I like his character art a whole bunch.
Okay, so Ismark must choose. No, not a D65. Oh man, hold on.
All right, would you choose number 38?
Yeah, all of the characters in the whole world. So let's see. That is between Reed and
It's right.
and Darius. Oh, that's a tough choice because those are actually his 2 favorite player characters. Damn. I really feel like Ismark on the spot here. It's a good thing this is meta. All right. So, real talk. This is assuming that you guys are all adventuring together and you're fighting and there's battles and there's things like that.
Oh, well, I already know the answer now.
Yeah. So yeah, out in the field, trying to stay safe, trying to stay alive. I think that he would probably pick to save Darius because pragmatically, saving Darius would probably save more people because Darius is very tough and very formidable, and very focused. Whereas Reed, while delightful,
Just squishy.
you're just so weak and soft and
You're like a baby.
and you know, like, and eager, you know what I'm saying? And he's seen those kind of people and they don't last long in Barovia. So
That's not foreshadowing at all.
yeah, he would definitely favor someone that he feels would be able to champion other people and save other lives rather than Reed. So that is the very practical answer. All right, let us jump into the game. Let's see. We resume in the basement of the house. The horribly mangled, critically hit body of the freshly made zombie dangles from the manacles on the wall.
Oh, I think we
What?
threw him into a fire pit at the end of the episode.
Oh, right. You burned him in the backyard. All right.
Yeah.
So yeah. So everybody stands in the backyard watching the corpse burn. and the fire sort of flit up, casting the ashes of burned flesh into the early morning air. That sounds about right, because it was morning when this happened.
Yeah.
Ireena asked me to go with her, I think, to the
Yes,
the
you
wife,
guys.
or I guess widow.
You guys were going to the wife to tell her the bad news, and she wanted you to go because you have a silver tongue. That's right. It's all coming back to me now. All right, cool.
Could you unpause the game real quick?
Yeah, sure.
All right,
let's
good.
see. All right.
I think one thing we did want to talk about was the recovery and crafting system, because I think we were talking about like trying to heal our
yes.
fucking injuries.
Yes, we said at the beginning of this session we were going to discuss how all that works in this game. Okay. So you guys should have access to 2 documents on your dashboard here. One is recovery and one is crafting. So let's go over those together right now. So recovery. Here we go. So you recover from 1 wound after each successful long rest. After completing a long rest with modest accommodation, a character may roll a DC 15 Constitution saving throw. If successful, they recover from a second wound if they have one. This counts as their long rest activity. So when you're camping, you have camping activities. When you're long resting, you have long resting activities. In another system that I'm learning, they have these things called exploration abilities, which, man, when I finally port those over to 5e, that's going to be fucking amazing. But anyways, so potentially in 1 long rest, you could recover from 2 wounds without the aid of any sort of magic. So it's important to note that camping is not long resting. Camping is a short rest that basically resets your fatigue timer of how long you've been awake and moving around and doing stuff. It does not provide any of the benefits that a long rest would provide. You can only long rest in this campaign in a sanctuary. So just remember that. The use of a healer's kit by someone with proficiency in medicine gives advantage on this roll. So there'd be 1 use of a healer's kit and proficiency in medicine. This counts as their long rest activity. Alternatively, use of a healer's kit by somebody without any wounds with proficiency in medicine allows that person to substitute their medicine check for the patient's con save. This will count as their long rest activity. So a DC 15 Constitution save can be very hard to make, especially if you've got a bunch of wounds. So having a trained healer there, they could essentially make that save for you and help you get a second wound removed. Magic may or may not come into play. A cure wound spell can remove 1 wound. It's literally in the name. But it must be cast at the same level as the number of wounds the target currently has to have any effect. Regardless of what level it is cast at, a single casting can only remove 1 wound. For those purposes, count any injuries towards the total number of wounds a creature has. Cure wounds cannot remove injuries unless stated below. So even if you did have access to magic, even if you did have access to cure wounds, it is only useful against people that only have a few wounds to begin with, right? Because if you had 2 wounds and an injury, you would need a 3rd level casting of cure wounds to remove a wound. Now here's the thing, you cannot recover from long-term injuries if you have any wounds. So you must get rid of your wounds first before you can start healing your actual injuries. So the superficial wounds on your body must be taken care of before the real deal damage can be recovered. Lost parts.
Wait, hold on. Before we jump into that section, so for example, Tiernan, you have like a bunch of injuries and wounds. We need an 8th level cure wounds to get rid of just 1.
Absolutely, yes.
I've got 4.
So that is simply to represent that magic can help, but only so much. You still need to give your body a chance to rest. All the other dinosaurs can remember in 2nd edition that you would recover like 1 hit point per day. And if your DM was spicy, it would be like 1 hit point per day plus your Constitution modifier. When you long rested. So
it
this
would
has
take
got
like a 12th level cure wounds on me right now.
right. So this just harkens back to a time when magic couldn't solve all your problems instantly. That's all. Magic can certainly help, as you will find out in the injuries section.
Right.
So
Okay.
yeah, if you have injuries, some of the injuries will just say, like heavy bleeding. Obviously, you can't just have heavy bleeding forever. Heavy bleeding even says that a medicine check will remove heavy bleeding. So if the injury says this is how you remove it, then that's how you remove it. But if it doesn't list how you remove it, that's going to be covered under this section right here. So lost parts, regeneration spell or prosthetic is pretty much your only option. I have several guides with items, rules, and feats for characters with permanent disabilities. For example, I believe Izzy has a very small amount of blind sight to compensate for being born blind. But in this one supplement I have, she can actually develop that further, going in a sort of a daredevil direction. Because that'd be cool. Scarring. This is very important, Reed. Scarring.
I'm listening.
Magical healing of 6th level or higher is the only way to get rid of scarring. So you would need a heal or regenerate or something of that level of power. Muscle and tissue damage. If you have no wounds but could remove a wound, you remove one of these injuries. So that is torn ligament, hurt back, things that sound really bad but aren't nearly as bad as like broken bones or missing limbs.
So I have torn muscles.
Yep, so you need to clear all wounds, and then the next time you would clear a wound, you could get rid of that.
Okay, what about tearing wounds?
I have that as well.
Tearing would also fall under muscle and tissue damage.
Okay.
Yep.
What if you have a concussion?
Ooh, that's a great question. Technically, the brain is a tissue, so that would fall under muscle and tissue damage.
Okay.
Mhm.
Good.
And same for internal bleeding.
Internal bleeding is caused by damage to your internal organs and such. So yeah, that would also be covered under muscle and tissue damage. Yep. So then we've got broken and fractured bones. So this is where it gets a little crazy. Each broken bone requires 20d6, which averages out to 70 points of dedicated healing to heal. After, and only after, being set with a DC 15 plus medicine check. Such a medicine check requires 5 charges of a healer's kit and 1 hour of time. 1 week of downtime reduces the healing amount required by 10. All right, so what this means, what dedicated healing means, is a healing effect applied directly to that injury. So it would either be essentially it would be a magical healing effect. Otherwise, you could do the whole like short rest healer's feat just over and over. I guess we only allow 2 short rests per day. So the healer's feat, I guess you could use that twice a day to speed up the recovery. Doesn't make a lot of sense in a non-magical way, but honestly, we don't want to spend the whole campaign with everybody in a fucking wheelchair and crutches. So how it works is it basically is a creature that needs healing, your broken bone. Once it recovers all of the missing hit points that it needs, the bone has healed enough that you are able to, it might be tender, but you're now able to use it again. What this means is that if you didn't have a dedicated healer, and you didn't have access to magical healing, and all that, and we rolled the dice, let's say you got a 70, that would mean you would need to spend 7 weeks naturally healing, which turns out is a pretty average time for a healthy person to recover from a broken bone. Obviously not like a horrible, like shattering fracture, but like the average broken bone can heal if you are a healthy person in about 7 weeks. At least that's what my research told me. So that's how we came about all these numbers. So how do you speed up the process? Well, we already know that the healer feat allows you to basically give people more healing, right? So you could say, all right, I'm going to use a charge from the healer's kit, and I'm going to heal this person. and we're going to apply all of the healing that I would have done to their actual character specifically to this injury, and then that will reduce the amount of hit points required for that injury to heal. If, and this is what Ireena was talking about injecting healing potions into the bone and stuff like that, if you were to take a healing potion and inject it into the broken bones, it would be like some Harry Potter bone growth juice kind of shit. It would be this incredibly painful process, but whatever you rolled for the healing potion would apply towards the total that you need healed. In before somebody says, but what if we use the world patch document optional rule of a person trained in medicine providing max healing with the potion? Fuck yeah, do that for sure. So as you can see, the combination of people being trained healers and people having access to magical healing salves and potions and stuff like that, combined with having the medicine skill, you're not going to be out of the game for very long, even with broken bones. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I get it.
Okay. And the reason that we do the 20d6 is sometimes a break seems way worse than it is, right? Like the bones jutting out of the flesh and oh my god. But if it was a clean break, it might heal really fast. Whereas you might have gotten a broken foot and you think to yourself, oh, a broken foot, that can't be that bad. But then it ends up being like, max 20d6 because you shattered every bone in your foot.
And
so
you keep walking on it.
Right, exactly. And you don't know any of this until somebody does the DC 15 medicine check to set the bone. You don't know what the amount is to heal. And then
we're allowed to start this process before like all of the wounds are gone, right?
You definitely want to get the bone set as quickly as possible. Yes. And you can artificially heal a broken bone even if you have wounds there. So you could start putting health down on it. You'll still have the penalty from it until you get rid of all your wounds, but the bone could be healed and essentially it's just too tender or too recently healed for you to remove the penalty until you get rid of all your wounds.
And quick question for those that suffer from like the Will Wheaton curse: can we opt to take the average
of what?
20d6?
Oh, not in this campaign, baby.
Damn.
Yeah. All right. So I hope that answers the questions about recovery. Something that we do need to talk about is injuries. So in the beginning, when we started this, we said that injuries were caused by a number of ways, and because you guys were level 0 and every hit was causing an injury, we only paid attention to hits that dealt 50% or more of your health. Now that you guys are getting tougher and you have more hit points, the other ways to get injuries, they kind of come back online. Just to kind of give you an idea on that. And the other ways that you can get injuries are, let's see, when do you get a wound? You get a wound anytime you get an injury. Wounds can stack. Injuries. All right, so the additional ways that you get an injury is if you suffer a critical hit, if you drop to 0 but are not killed outright, and if you fail a death save by 5 or more. Those are all ways that you can end up with an injury. So those are now online, now that you guys have leveled up a bit. All right, and let's see. Any questions about injuries and wounds and recovery?
None so far. By the way, would the inn be considered modest accommodation? I'm just saying.
For the world patch for like a hit point buff or whatever.
Oh no,
for the being able to roll.
Yes, absolutely, yeah.
I'm gonna do that right now. Then.
Yeah, same.
One thing.
Damn it.
Okay, so after a long rest, a character may roll a DC 15 con save. We can recover from a second wound. So we did. So we recovered one automatically after a long rest. So now we can possibly recover from a second one. Okay.
Correct. Yep.
So we should have had a total of 2 long rests, right?
Well, no, 1 long rest, but 2 chances to remove.
Right.
Okay.
So.
And keep in mind that last night your long rest activity was watching the prisoner. So
Yeah.
you wouldn't have benefited from the chance to roll last night.
Okay, that's
You
what I was wanting to know.
Oh,
What-
yeah,
what
yeah,
are
yeah,
long
yeah.
rests- Okay.
Yep. So what your long rest activity means is that is the only thing you did during the long rest.
Okay.
You did nothing else. You just laid there trying to get better. Yep. All right. So then, real quick on to crafting. I don't think you guys have all the crafting tools you need yet. So the crafting is online, but essentially inaccessible for now. But basically, you declare what field of crafting you're going to go into, and then what your specialization is within that craft. So alchemy has 3 flavors: the alkahest, the apothecary, and the tincturer. So the alkahest makes poisons, explosives, corrosives. They're like the attack tree. The apothecary focuses on like herbalism and potions, antidotes, antitoxins. They're like the healer tree. And then the tincturers, they are the balance tree, I guess. They focus more on buffs and resistances and changing things. Then you've got crafting. Blacksmith is just literally anything that has to do with primarily metal parts, armor, tools, weapons. Jeweler focuses on anything and everything related to precise metalwork with like precious metals and whatnot. And then gems and the cutting of gems and the appraising of gems and the improving of gems, things like that. Leather worker focuses on anything related to making stuff from leather, hides, skins, scales, natural sort of materials, but not fibers, which is actually, I believe, covered with, I think like weaver's tools or some shit. I think that might actually be a tool set on the list. But tailor. Tailors focus on making products out of clothes, blankets, bandages. That means that a tailor could refill your healer's kits
That's a question I was
out.
going to ask later.
Yep, out in the field. And obviously, in a world where healer's kits are so important, I've taken the liberty of increasing the prices of them significantly. Let's see. Tinkerers. Tinkerers focus on any sort of clockwork devices. So this is sort of the catch-all of anything that wouldn't be covered somewhere else that is somewhat complex. So that would be the Tinker's tools. Woodworker, that focuses on anything that is made out of wood, and this also covers most vehicles, crossbows, bolts, arrows, bows, that sort of thing. So those are the main focuses for crafting. The idea here is you need to declare one, and that is what your character can focus on. There may be opportunities to branch out into others later, but if you do, you lose the opportunity to essentially rank up at what you're good at. So if you right now declare that you are crafting blacksmith, and then when you had an opportunity to go from being a low-ranking blacksmith to a medium-ranked blacksmith, you could say, actually, I'm having fun just making basic bitch stuff and helping other people. I want to try making potions also, so we have someone else to make basic bitch potions. So then you could do that, but then you never get access to the more advanced stuff. So all of the things in the world are ranked, and then they need a craftsman of that rank to make them. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yeah, quick question on that.
Uh-huh.
My Reed's chameleon ability, I assume, means he can only mimic the basic level of that toolkit,
Oh,
right?
correct.
Okay.
Yep. And then we have enchanting, which is not available to you guys because you need to be a magic user to have access to enchanting, or at least have some access to magic. So you're gonna look for ingredients. They come in four ranks of ingredients, kind of like the recipes come in different ranks. Different recipes might call for a different quality of ingredient. There are types. These are keywords that can be applied to stuff. Every drop in the world, every item in the world has at least one type to it. Because I am a human being with a life and a job and all that, I did not take the liberty of going through and applying all these things to everything. So what it basically comes down to is if you have a recipe and the recipe says, I want a medium rock, right? You could then start to say, hey, do I have anything that's a medium rock? And I'll be like, hit me with it. What do you got? And then say, yeah, that definitely qualifies as a medium rock. And then from that point on, you could be on the lookout for drops that would qualify as a medium rock or whatever, or a supreme toxin, etc., etc. There is
So
also
like read then.
yeah. There are properties as well. So something might ask for a supreme flammable monster essence, right? So what comes to mind with a supreme flammable monster essence would probably be something akin to like an adult or greater red dragon. Something like that would drop something of that quality. So just kind of keep that in mind. Properties and types and ranks, they will come up specifically in recipes. I would only stress about them when they come up. That being said, if you are killing monsters and you can afford to carry the stuff with you, it doesn't hurt to pull a full-on like Skyrim Witcher situation where you just like fucking keeping a little bit of everything just in case. Because you never know later on if a recipe is going to say, man, it'd be really cool if you had kept the tongue from that guy that you fought 6 sessions ago, because man, that's the perfect ingredient to make this thing. So I'm not trying to turn you guys into hoarders, but that's generally what crafting systems do to people. Keep in mind that there will be no bags of holding in this campaign. So carrying all this stuff around will eventually necessitate either pack animals and or like your own wagon or something, because you will eventually just be so strapped down with stuff.
I just picture the party with like these cloth bags full and soaking with blood of like decaying body parts. It's like, hey, what do you need?
So that being said, right, this is probably one of the first games, those of you who have not played like 2nd edition D&D, this might be the first game where you've ever actually needed to purchase things like jars and boxes and sacks and bags and vials. If you don't have these things, and again, I don't make a habit of auditing people's character sheets, you're on the honor system, but if you don't have these things, you can't actually harvest stuff, right? You can't just stuff your pockets full of flesh and hope for the best. Like, you are going to need a means to store and preserve this stuff. So just keep that in mind.
Yeah, I'm just tripping over some of these properties. Fucking psychedelic. If you fail to harvest it, you're incapacitated until a long rest. What the fuck?
You know who's psychedelic? A certain dragon you guys ran into on Saturday morning.
Oh, jeez.
Right?
That would have been nuts.
he would drop, his parts would be psychedelic. Yeah. So that system is adapted from Nord Games. I felt like they did a pretty solid job with it. So that's what we're going to use. Now, you guys have some recipes already, and I've made a crafting channel for you. And even though you don't have the toolkits and stuff, I can go ahead and start posting up those recipes if you would like.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I think
Let me do that.
fine.
So also, because there's no magic in the setting, anytime you would find a spell book in the written adventure, I am replacing it with a recipe book. And anytime you would find a spell scroll, I am, for the most part, replacing it with a recipe card.
Oh, nice, because we have like 4 or 5 scrolls we never really looked at.
I've got a healing recipe, healing potion recipe, climbing potion recipe, and a heroism potion recipe.
And does that include the scrolls we found at the other place? Like looking in the loot section, or treasure, it just says like scrolls.
Yeah, you'd probably want to crack this open at this point, and well, maybe not this exact point, but you definitely want to crack them open and see what recipes you have on them.
All right, yeah, it looks like there are
the ones that the potions that I got, I think were from in that wooden coffer, or the.
Oh, then that would account for them then, because yeah, they came out of the same place, or at least they're in the same text, so I assume it's the same place.
Okay, so Potion of Healing is a great example to kind of explain the system here. So, and the crafting system in game is based off of the amazing video game that's totally not a Dungeons and Dragons video game, Solasta. All right. So how it works is if you go to Discord, there will be a potion recipe healing. I'll actually post it into the game chat as well. And sorry to chew up some of our game time with this nerd shit, but you know, this is kind of like your magic system in this game. So, all right. Potion of healing. It is an alchemy apothecary, so you need to be declared as an apothecary person. It is an apprentice thing, so you'll need to keep that in mind. The different ranks, I believe, is novice and then apothecary. So let's see, what level are you guys?
So apprentice, novice,
You're level
apothecary.
yeah. So it has like different ranks there. Oh, and there's also master and artisan and all that kind of stuff. I believe at 3rd level you get to either choose a second crafting focus or you can upgrade the current crafting focus to the next tier. Is how we're handling it. So to make it, you have to be an apprentice apothecary alchemist. It takes 8 hours. That means that you need to make 8 successful checks to do so. The value is 50 gold pieces. The healing draught requires a fluid. So essentially, any fluid could work, and the value there being 50, when you are crafting, you can cut the value in half, essentially. And if you have other feats and abilities or whatever that allow you to craft things cheaper, you can, reduce that cost as well. So in a pinch, the easiest way to make a healing potion is to do 25 gold pieces worth of like powdered silver, just mixed into any sort of fluid. But there's a lot of ways that people make healing potions, so it's not overly complicated. You also need my bad. So the potion of healing requires you to make a healing draught specifically. And then you need a medicinal ingredient to add to the healing draught. So the healing draught, you don't have the card for, but Ireena could teach you guys that one also. So in a very video gamey way, you build the shittiest potion first, and then you upgrade the shittiest potion to the next level. Yeah. So the recommended tools for this is herbalism kit. I would also allow alchemist kit for this. And then the ability check is a wisdom, but I would also but all crafting can also use intelligence. So
Apologies for interrupting. Would a brewer supplies be acceptable as well?
brewer supplies.
I mean, not that I have it. I'm just curious.
Right. Yeah, I guess so. I feel like it'd be more fun to allow people to craft rather than be super draconian about it. But you do need to have proficiency in the tools required to do it, and you do need to be in that focus. So yeah, like we could broaden it up for sure. And then basically you make the healing potion, and this will still use hit dice or whatever. So what happens is every time you take a camp action, you could declare that your camp action is crafting. That will give you 2 chances to roll to craft, and that will build towards in this case, 8 successes you need, because the time is the number of successes. If you spent like a whole day in town just crafting, you're allowed to make 10 attempts a day at crafting. So you can spend 10 hours straight crafting. If you were doing like downtime as your crafting activity. So if everyone takes like 7 days of downtime, you could say, I'm going to spend all 7 days crafting, and you can make 70 crafting checks. And you could maybe bust out one big item or a bunch of small items during that time. And we have a way in Foundry to track all that automatically, so you don't have to worry about building yourself like a spreadsheet or any of that kind of stuff. There's like built-in stuff for tracking that. All right, so that's kind of how that works. So for this particular recipe, you would need a healing draught as one of the ingredients, which you can learn how to make by, speaking with Ireena. And then you'd also need a medicinal ingredient. And the beauty of this system is lots of things could be considered medicinal. Like I mentioned earlier, the 25 GP worth of powdered silver, I would certainly allow that to be a medicinal ingredient. In The Dungeons and Dragons setting, silver is a magical metal. It has a lot of like properties associated with it. As gross as it sounds to drink gemstones, certain gemstones might have medicinal properties affiliated with them through that sort of belief system. But finding herbs and plants just out in the woods, or purchasing some from an apothecary shop or something would be a way to get those ingredients. All right. Did you have other recipe cards that you knew about, or just the potion of healing one? Because I have them written down here. But
Potion of climbing and heroism.
Oh, very nice. Okay. So let me get you those cards as well. Let's see. And I don't think you guys are ready to build any of this stuff, so I can also just add Healing Drought to the list of things as well.
Hey, Ireena, you remember that time a couple hours ago when I asked you the recipe for a healing drop?
Right.
Not even
So
a few
some
hours,
of
a couple minutes ago, she was talking about it.
So some of the numbers and the prices are a bit bananas. Case in point, the potion of climbing. Now, admittedly, it gives you a full-on climb speed, which is pretty dope. But 100 hours just to unlock a climb speed with a single potion, it does feel kind of like a lot. Do you know what I mean? So I am open to kind of modifying these and changing these. I don't think that anytime soon you're going to be making a potion of climbing, but anytime you see something and it's like, Crash, this is a ridiculous ask, we'll kind of look at it and be like, yeah, we could probably adjust that. All right. Then you got Potion of Heroism, which is just a great item in general. I believe it gives you like Bless for 1 hour with no concentration. So I could understand that one being a bit harder to make. So throw that in there.
Nah, it's just temp HP. Oh, and bless?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, the potion does 2 things.
Yeah.
I forgot
Potion
about
of Heroism is really, really nice, especially when you don't have access to Bless from like any other source. So, yeah. And then you said you had a couple of scrolls that you hadn't cracked open.
Yeah, I think so. Because I think we found actual scrolls in there, and then I didn't learn about what was in the coffer until after I unlocked it, and I put those on my character sheet.
Yeah, it just has 2 rolled up scrolls.
Okay.
They definitely came from the Durst house.
Because I had three potion recipes, and those came from the coffer, and then there were 2 scrolls, so they couldn't have been from the same things, because the numbers don't match.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, so we get 2 additional scrolls from the Durst house.
It's up to you whether they actually are fucking useful. But
all right, so
scrolls.
yeah, I have it here. One of them is the schematics. Oh, it's an enchanting recipe though, so you would actually have to find someone that could help you make them. There are spellcasters in the setting, but they are extremely
evil.
rare. Yeah. So this might have value to those people if you find them, but you do have the schematics or the formulae to make Eyes of Minute Seeing.
Oh, nice. The microscope glasses.
Yeah, microscope glasses. All right, and then the other one was.
Isn't that the same effect that just a regular magnifying glass in D&D has?
I don't know.
I don't know. Nobody I know has ever bothered to use a magnifying glass. Yeah, look it up real quick.
Not complete. Possible to light a fire with a magnifying glass if you have sunlight. About that. Tinder and at least 5 minutes to ignite. Also grants advantage on an ability check made to appraise or inspect an item that is small or highly detailed.
Okay, and the other thing is a Vest of Fortitude. It is an expert level leatherworking thing. It allows you to make essentially hide armor that when you're subjected to effect, it allows you to make Constitution save to take only half damage. You instead take no damage if you succeed and only half damage if you fail.
Shit.
Nice.
Yeah.
Just gotta find a troll, apparently.
Yeah, whatever a troll is. I'm sure those
are the things that live under bridges, right?
Yeah, I'm sure that's totally normal thing and
Its
not
weakness is a
Yeah.
its weakness is a goat. Yeah.
Right. So
Oh,
that was your
highest
two. That
medium
was
armor.
your two. That was your two unread scrolls, and then those are the three that you had before. And then I'll go ahead and add the healing drought as well, and we'll just wibbly wobbly, timey wimey assume that at some point, Ireena taught you how to make this. A healing drought is a potion, and it does count as a potion when you drink it, but it only restores 1d4 plus 1 hit points, or 1 hit die plus 1. So it ain't great, but
In a pinch.
yeah,
I
it's
mean,
also easy to make and cheap and fast to make, and you need it to make the bigger healing potions.
yeah, I was gonna say if it's half the cost, half the time, it might be worth it.
Oh, it's it's real nice. So for this is the one that you only need one medicinal item and some water essentially. So and it is an apprentice level, so you guys could be making that right now if you got a hold of herbalist kit, brewer's tools, or alchemist kit. All right, so that should catch everybody up on these systems that are now in play of crafting and recovery.
Last
right.
question on that. Oh,
Oh,
sorry.
okay.
If we have like some overlap, can we help people?
Yes,
Okay.
great question. So when you, if you are able to make, it has to be the same tools though. So if you are trained in herbalist and someone else is trained in herbalist, and you both want to make a healing draught, you can both make checks that will count towards the success of building it. So essentially, you could each be making checks to speed up the process, or one person could make one check with advantage. So if it's an easier item, it might be best to each make a check without advantage so that you have a chance of making it faster. But if it's a very difficult thing to make with like a high DC, you might want to work together to make a single check to make sure that those checks are succeeding.
So you guys, with my chameleon ability, I can, up to my proficiency level a day, mimic a basic tool check if you guys need help. with
Nice.
anything.
Pretty useful.
And for the purposes of helping to give advantage, I would allow an apprentice to help somebody more experienced make a more difficult item, but the apprentice could not make a dedicated check to speed up the process.
Oh, sweet. That's
Yeah.
nice.
Okay. All right, great. Any other questions? And please ask the questions, because this is replacing your access to magic. So this is how you're going to be able to do the more exceptional stuff outside of your class abilities.
Are we still doing the magical cooking?
I want to do the magical cooking for sure. For sure. How's everybody? I mean, we're all good with that? Yeah,
I'm
magical
down with
cooking.
it. Yeah.
All right, sweet. Let's see.
I ain't got no proficiencies in it, but I'm down with it if it's available.
Yeah. Oh, brown soup again. Yay.
But this
I
is
do have
magical brown
proficiency.
soup.
Magical brown soup.
All right. Now I just got to remember where I stashed those, because I was like, I'll work on these later. Let's see.
Sorry, what were you saying?
I have proficiency in it. I have an idea on
Oh,
which
nice.
NPC to hit up to try to get some info out of it. But if it wasn't an option, then I was just going to move over to alchemy or something.
Oh, this is in Hellenia's. That's right. Okay. Such a chonk-ass, beefy book, Hellenia's. Let's see.
Darius has proficiency in Tinker, so he's going to be going down that route.
Sadly, I'm just disguise and forgery, so nothing
Eric.
but crafting.
Eric has swapped out his alchemy proficiency for blacksmithing tools.
Okay. As long as you guys are all, you could min-max this for sure. But if you feel that your character would be, like, it makes sense for your character to do this particular thing, definitely don't feel pressured to change it.
Tyrion is a apothecary.
Yeah, Darius used to work at a car shop, so I felt it made sense that he would have like proficiency with Tinker's tools. And also land vehicle. Which, this is a very different type of land vehicles here.
All right. Trying to go to the cooking section. There we go. All right. So cooking is a subcategory of crafting that allows players to use their downtime to prepare for the next conflict in a whole new way. This section explores cooking magical food. It describes the rules for cooking food, then details 22 staple recipes. So these recipes are like recipe cards that you guys are finding in the world. So they are exceptional foods. So there's still the benefits of like the cook's feat, or the chef feat, that you are able to make like temp HP snacks and things like that. And this is beyond the normal turning a ration into restorative items that is in our camping rules. So this is essentially magical crafting through cooking. So currently you don't have any recipe cards for this, but it follows the same idea of apprentice and journeyman and artisan and all that kind of stuff. So you would declare cooking as your crafting profession and then be an apprentice in it. And then as you find recipes, you could then use them. The recipes and the stuff that you can make, they focus on ingredients: blood, bone, brain, egg, eye, fat, flesh, heart, liver, and spice. And so I will go ahead and put this edible monster component summary up for you, Anna, so that you can start looking for those sort of tasty treats when you're out in the field.
Fair enough.
All right, so under here, under enchantment, we will add cooking.
Enchantment.
Enchantment.
Oh, don't bring that up, please.
Sorry.
Every part of me wanted to kill that NPC.
Oh, I
No,
Every part of me.
no, he's the sweetest boy. He's so special and great. No, I won't abide that kind of talk. Oh my god. Anyways, so yeah, all you know for now, Anna, is that you have only ever cooked normal food, but you have heard stories that adventurers, heroes, the exceptionally rich will dine on monsters and gain strength from the monsters by eating them. And so, I mean, might as well kind of take those skills out into the world and see what you can do with
In a
them.
smut book where they did that once.
Okay. There was a Final Fantasy-esque game where you could have a monster as like a party member, and then when you fought monsters in the wild, sometimes they would drop their meat, and then your monster character could eat the meat, and then they would randomly turn into a new monster and have all that monster's abilities. I thought that was just the coolest fucking thing in the whole world. Anyways, now that we got all that out of the way, back to the game. Right?
Oh, I want a monster pet.
Oh, one more question. Okay, one more thing. All right.
I saw earlier there was a fans bow from Cog's Pain. Was that added already?
That is from August 12th. So I probably no August 12th in the game. Yeah, my bad.
So then it looks like
that has not been added yet.
Okay. We also just got another one from Scottrick and T-Pain.
Oh, there you go.
So we're up to 10.
Yeah.
Much needed and appreciated.
They're listening to all these roles required to craft things, and then they're looking back at our history of roles, and they're like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah.
Now you'll notice that crafting is hard. There is not a good economy in this world. Magic is pretty locked down, so even the people that do have it generally don't make a big deal about it. So do not make the assumption that you're going to get to maybe the town of Valakai and just be able to go ham just buying every consumable you need. So consumables have weight and they have value. This is a super low / no magic campaign. So the consumables that you have, you're either going to find, pay a shitload of money for, or make yourselves. So just keep that in mind. And rogues in this, in my world patch doc, they all get fast hands. So consumable items are very useful if you have rogues, because your action economy is going to be fantastic. So just keep all that in mind. All right. Any other questions about crafting or recovery?
What other? Okay, so do you want us to ask every NPC we meet that we meet for any period of time, hey, can you teach me any recipes? Or is
All
it more
right.
like after we meet this NPC, you'll like, this NPC knows this recipe. If you don't know this, it's unlocked now.
So just like a wizard with a spell book, you will kind of have a sense of whether or not this person is a craftsman. And just like a wizard with their spellbook, they will be hesitant to give away their spells for free. But yes, they might be willing to trade, techniques with you. They might even be able to be willing to teach you for a fee, or perhaps for running an errand for them or something. So yeah, there will be opportunities to learn from NPCs in the world as well, and there are master craftsmen for each of the different specializations seeded into the world, and finding them and perhaps studying with them would be a good way to learn stuff. Or if you just never feel like you're going to attain that level of crafting, you might need to seek them out to make something that you need, or fix something that you need, or something like that. So yes, they're just like wizards with their spell books. You guys in your recipe books are going to have that as well. And the recipe book is a physical thing. So whoever is keeping track of all these scrolls and recipes, you do not want to lose them.
Is it that, or can we each inscribe our own recipe book? Like, I'll carry the
Oh yeah,
apothecary
yeah.
recipes.
You certainly could. Yep, you certainly could. But the recipe cards in the game are not nearly as basic as the little screenshots I'm sharing with you. We assume that it's one or more pages of complicated instructions. Like heat the water to this exact degree, add this exact amount of this. It's not just like tossing things into a sack, shaking it up, and you pour out the items.
Also written ye old English.
Yeah. Now, somebody with keen minds could make the argument that I was just working on this recipe when I lost my recipe book or whatever. Can I rewrite the recipe? And they're like, yeah, because you recently saw it, you have keen mind, that sort of thing. Metagamers might say that every night I read all of my recipes cover to cover just in case. I mean, if that's you want to do that instead of crafting, I guess you could do that. It's kind of weird flex, but. So just gonna keep that stuff in mind. All right. Any other questions?
Sounds good.
All right. So, you are now in the world. Reed and Ireena are going to the house to speak with that woman. The rest of you, what are you doing this morning as we kind of send everybody out into the world?
Go ahead.
I'm assuming that as Eric wakes up, Matthew is probably still sleeping.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
He'll more than likely go down to the first floor of the inn, ask around where everyone else is, because he has no idea where everyone else
Yeah,
is.
no one came home last night, essentially. Yeah.
So yeah, he's a bit worried.
Okay.
He'll
All right.
probably get a meal in the meantime, waiting for an answer.
He's worried, but not too worried to eat breakfast. Okay, fair enough.
You never skip out on breakfast.
Yeah, so the breakfast that's included with your room is a piece of moldy toast with one egg on top of it and a cup of watered down wine.
He grimaces, but he'll have to deal with that.
All right, fair enough. So, Darius, what are you getting up to first thing in the morning after burning this corpse?
Well, he was going to, seeing as Rhea and Ireena have kind of walked off, he was actually going to talk to Tiernan and Deanna for a hot second.
Oh, okay. All right,
Ireena-
so let's do that before we hear what Tiernan and Anna want to do, because they may want to do something different. So
Yeah.
hop in there. Okay.
Ireena had mentioned, I guess this would also include like Izzy and all them. Ireena had mentioned something called alchemy. What's that?
I mean, turning lead into gold and such, right? Like it was a medieval thing, Renaissance era thing, even.
Exactly. It's how to make potions and tinctures and elixirs and such things.
Wait, potions? Huh.
So, the short of it, chemical analysis and all that stuff.
Well, I don't quite know about that, but it will help you be able to do things you wouldn't normally be able to do, or perhaps heal, or perhaps hurt someone.
Hmm.
And Mackenzie says, like, it's chemistry. It's just chemistry, ye old chemistry.
So this whole zombie plague, if we had, she said she had one of those kits, but then she had to sell it off. We had one of those, it help them solve this whole issue thing. I know it's not the same as whatever you lab, but probably the best thing we got here.
Possible.
Yeah, I mean, to compare like the equipment that we have access to back home with the equipment that is here, I'm just going to go out on a limb and say that it's probably not going to be suitable for what we need. Now, we could use it to kind of compare and contrast reactions of, I don't know, healthy blood versus infected blood. But it's going to be very difficult, at least unless I see the kit and it has some way of, disproving that. It's going to be very hard to kind of isolate things. Like, they don't have like a microscope or anything like that. So and we don't have access to the internet, so that we can't like just access like the kind of knowledge we need. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I'm pretty smart, but I mean, like everybody in the real world, I know that I could just look things up when I need to. And when it comes to, chemistry, you want to make sure that everything is accurate, or things could go really bad. In the case of analyzing samples, we could just draw all the wrong conclusions.
But it's a start, though, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's a start.
It's the best thing we got, because fuck if I know what can and can't be done here. So maybe we try and find one of those kits.
Okay, well, the only person in town that apparently has a shop is what was the guy's name? Does anybody?
Bill Doth? Is that what the Burger Master said?
Bildrith.
Yeah, something like Bildrad or something like that. So I guess we could go talk to him.
Possibility.
Okay.
Yeah, he was just trying to pick the brains of
Okay.
Deanna and Tiernan and see what they thought about the idea.
All right. So, Deanna, what is your intentions for the morning?
You would probably notice that Eric is not here.
Mm-hmm.
She would ask if anyone would like to go get him from the inn, because she's not going by herself.
Mm-hmm.
And then once Eric comes back to the group, she would probably go hit up Granny Goodness outside wherever we met her.
Right.
And see if we can make any headway on magical foods.
Okay. Alrighty. Does anybody want to accompany Deanna? Anybody? Going once. Going twice. Deanna, looking for an escort.
If no one goes, she will not go.
Okay.
Darius is actually going to go to Ismark after talking with you guys, so...
Okay. Alright, then let's find out what Tiernan is up to. Tiernan, what are you up to?
Well, Tiernan is creeped out by Deanna, so... I mean, other than... I mean, I'd want to talk to Ireena more about, like, about alchemy and stuff, and how she had explained the healing drop. And I'd be like, okay, but how does it work? Okay, but how does it work though?
Right.
Like,
but she's off delivering sad news for now. So
yeah. So
yeah.
I suppose as long as Izzy will go with me,
yeah,
I will tag along
that,
with Deanna.
Yeah, you can assume that unless I intervene and say, hey, this NPC just would not want to do this, or this NPC is going to do something else, they just follow you guys. Whoever your assigned B team member is, they just follow your main character wherever that character goes. You can tell them to go somewhere else and they will. And even if they say they don't want to do something, you could sort of push them to do it anyways, because they are your assigned B team person. But it would be one of those Telltale games, this NPC will remember that kind of thing, that you made them do something they didn't want to do.
So I will tag along with Deanna since she needs someone to go with her. But
okay.
I'll bring Izzy along as well so that I'm not alone with Creepy Lady.
All right, so Deanna, your first stop is the inn, right?
Correct.
Okay, so let's handle that. So you 5, because eventually Matthew would wake up and come downstairs. You 5 would meet up at the inn. All right. So what is the intent? When you guys come in, you smell breakfast. I don't know if you had any breakfast over at Ireena or at the Burgomaster's house, because it kind of sounds like a lot of things kind of all happened at once. So as you approach, you do smell cooked eggs, kind of warm toast, and there is a fire crackling in the fireplace when you enter. And you see Eric and Matthew. You sitting at a table or a bar, you guys?
At the table, I assume Matthew's sitting as far away from me as possible.
Yeah, I mean he's like two stools down, essentially, from you.
Yeah, you're gonna have to work on that at a later time, I guess.
Okay, so you guys walk in, and let's see, we'll put the people that aren't there off to the side, invisible. There we go. And Darius, you and Mackenzie are heading towards the general store, it sounds like?
Or
do you just
probably
decide?
going to do that with the group, but is going
Okay.
to go with Ismark because it seems like he's doing something.
Oh, okay. You're gonna go talk to Ismark. Okay,
Yeah.
got it. All right, so you wouldn't be in this scene,
Yes.
just to confirm. Okay, great. So let's see. I think that's sorted out pretty well. All right. This early in the morning, the sisters would probably not be there, and Radu Radovich would probably not be there. Okay, so you guys arrive at the tavern.
As I do not have a token in the scene.
Oh, okay. Let me grab you one. Let's see.
I see them there, but I guess that's not that token.
No, that's the one we deleted. There we go. Okay. All right. So yeah, you see that Eric is eating at the bar. That gallant commoner is eating at the bar. Matthew is eating at the bar, but kind of away from Eric. The old woman is there, sipping her wooden cup of wine. And the breakfast does seem to be sort of toast, like moldy toast with a single egg on top and 1 cup of wine.
Looks delicious.
Good old ration stuff, yeah.
Oh, you guys made it back.
As
Where were
you-
you, by the way?
So Anna, as you go to speak with Eric, the tavern keeper, Eric, the adventurer, kind of interrupts and flags you down.
Yes.
Eric?
Oh, I thought you meant the other Eric. I'm sorry. Both their names sound so similar.
Mm-hmm. No, it's you. Everyone's looking at you. Everyone in the whole building. Yeah, everyone in the whole building has stopped eating and drinking and speaking. Everyone is turning to look at you.
Why is everyone staring at me? Oh god.
Because you started talking.
Good morning. Eric.
Good morning, Deanna.
Eric, there's no Dana. It's just Anna. And she will give Eric a sort of recap without taking up too much time as to what happened on the previous night after he left. If she remembers it. And then she will explain what I was going to say that. And then she will explain what the intentions of what she would like to do during the day, and that Tiernan was so kind, and Izzy as well, as to accompany her to come and retrieve you. And Matthew.
Oh, certainly. I was just waiting here, I guess, for any one of you to return. And zombies. Like Walking Dead zombies?
Yes, but we probably shouldn't talk about it here.
Right. Oh, thank God. I mean, if it was like Left 4 Dead or Dawn of the Dead zombies, would be screwed, right?
I don't know what that is.
Oh boy. Okay then. Very well. Let us proceed with today. Matthew, are you done?
Matthew looks at you and says, "Oh, why are we helping deal with zombies? How does helping with zombies get us back to America? Like what is the motivation here?"
So that we can gain favor with the town folks, and hopefully they can help us in our endeavor.
Do you think these people could help us with anything?
He looks around. Maybe one or two.
Yeah? Which one? The creepy old lady, or the creepy old man, or the brain dead barkeeper, or the creepy coven of witch sisters, or like who have we met that could actually help us get home?
There's Ismark, his sister, and their father. They seem like well-adjusted people.
I see. So it's one of those situations where we're just gonna hope that the rich white people can solve our problems.
I mean, I don't know how to answer that, so it's better than nothing. Unless you have a solid plan.
I have no plan. That's fine. Yeah, I just wanted to know why we were fighting zombies all of a sudden.
Can we hear this conversation?
Yeah, he's not. I mean, he's a young man, right? He's what, 18, 19 years old. So he's just 16, 17. How old is Matthew?
Yeah, we
Eric?
established like 18, 19.
Yeah. So he's a young man, and he's been through a lot, and he's just kind of like he's just spitting it out there. He doesn't care.
Matthew, if you continue to not look at this in the best light, you won't be here very much longer.
Whoa! Is that a threat? Are you threatening
No,
me?
you run off by yourself. You have no one here but us. You need us, and we need you. How are you going to eat if you weren't using the money that we found? How would you have a place to stay if you didn't use the money that we found? You
His
need
his eyes
help.
kind of are downcast as you talk to him, and he listens. All right. I'm sorry.
Now, we are all strangers in a strange land. We need to help each other.
All right, but if I'm gonna be fighting zombies, I want something besides this goddamn butter knife. And
That's what we're working
he
on.
shows you the steak knife that he just kind of keeps on him.
Can you even use that properly?
Everyone knows I use a knife. You do know, not the full mechanics of it, but he is still at 5 stacks of exhaustion.
That's
When it
fine.
comes
know.
That's why
Yeah, yeah. So the kid is worn out. Like he's worn out.
Dude, are those ever going away? Just asking.
Oh no. You guys, whoever your B team person is, they are your Pokemon. So when they long rest, you need to be managing their wounds, their injuries, all that kind of stuff.
Oh, I was okay.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. So you mechanically, you guys should definitely have stewardship over that, because you would make the decisions if they would use their time during a rest to try and recover, if they would help other people, all that, because they are
Do our
still
NPCs get crafting specializations the same way as us?
not the same way. You will find NPCs who are skilled at crafting, and you could slot them instead of your current ones. Or at certain points during the campaign, companions that you have with you, if they've lived long enough, they will then kind of level up essentially and gain better stats and more abilities.
Okay.
Yep. Good question though.
Okay, Larry puts away his plate. Let us be off.
All right. So everybody kind of slides off of their stools, polishes off their very meager breakfast, and I guess heads to the door. As you guys head back into the world at large, I guess the camera will cut over to Darius and Mackenzie, who stuck around to speak with Ismark. So Ismark is kind of tending the last of the flickering flames, making sure that embers don't spread or start any fires. He's staring at the burning corpse with a intense, sort of meditative look on his face.
Darius would kind of just like walk over to him.
Mm-hmm.
So, what are your plans for today?
My plans for today. Well, it seems that Ireena has plenty of help for now. I feel like I would only get in the way, so I am probably going to ask around again, see if anyone knows where these missing people have gone off to. I find it hard to believe that they all would try to leave on the road, but I don't know where else they would be.
Well, need some help. Mind some company.
That would be wonderful. Maybe you will hear and see things that I did not. Help me figure out what's going on.
Darius, let's give him a nod.
I'm sure Ireena will not mind. You and Mackenzie can use vanilla, and with horse we can travel farther and faster. I was hoping to check in on some of the farms outside of town, see if perhaps people have fled the village and are maybe trying to stay with the farmers.
Sounds good to me.
Okay. Mackenzie says, "Do you know how to ride a horse?"
Nope. Can't be that hard, right? Movies make it look so easy.
I'm gonna go and say that
I know that's
yeah, not having I'd say anybody with animal handling could probably argue that they could ride a horse. I'd say Mackenzie has probably ridden a horse a couple of times, which might be more than Darius has.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
Captain Peanut Butter, the department horse.
Oh yeah. I was also just thinking, like, when you're a kid and you go to like a friend's party, sometimes they'll have like, they've rented like a pony, like pony rides, or you have like a friend that's just like they have horses or whatever. I feel like maybe she would be exposed to that, but also yeah. The whole mounted officer thing, like kind of a novelty, like a morale booster. They'll sometimes like go to visit precincts, and people that aren't in that particular division get to like interact with the horses and that stuff. So yeah.
I feel it's definitely probably the latter because I think they're both city kids. So
yeah. All right, so yeah, you guys will accompany Ismark and essentially do some investigating. And this would come down to really just spending several hours visiting the nearby the nearby farms, and then the people within the village of Barovia to sort of ask questions and get answers. So this is essentially a skill challenge. So how is Mackenzie going to contribute, and how is Darius going to contribute?
Mackenzie will contribute using her investigation.
Okay.
Darius will contribute using his. I mean, honestly, his best skill is athletics. Maybe if like there's something that's spotted that needs to be like moved out of the way or something like that, maybe he can assist with that.
Okay.
The only other thing I can think of is maybe perception. But yeah, probably athletics for Darius.
Okay. All right.
Taking the Andronicus approach of trying to make everything in athletics.
Damn straight. Gotta use
All
your
right.
strengths, baby. Literally.
All right. So give me both checks. Blind GM and Ismark is going to use perception.
Okay.
All right.
I'm gonna burn 2 of my DM inspirations for this.
Oh wow. Okay.
So, Darius, this will be. Oh, do this at. Just roll it.
Oh shit. Okay, that's good.
Okay. And then Mackenzie's investigation.
Oh wow. Okay. Fantastic. So your athletics actually comes in handy because when you guys are out visiting one of the farms, the person there, you get a sense that they know more than they're letting on, but they explain that they're too busy to ask questions, and apparently they have like a sick animal that they're trying to move from like one pen to another to kind of get away from the others, but they are unable to move it themselves. So you end up moving a big sick cow with your athletic skill, and you and Ismark kind of lift it and sort of walk it over to the other pen so that hopefully it doesn't infect the other animals. And this impresses the farmers so much that they kind of open up and talk to you. That basically eliminates any suspicion that anyone is trying to move away from the village to stay with the farmers, because the general consensus from the farmers is they would love if people came from the village to work. They are low on workers. There's so much to do. The weather is killing the crops, making it impossible to make a livelihood. The animals are constantly being preyed upon by wolves, werewolves, and so on and so forth. It's a hard life, and any help would have been greatly appreciated. You're even allowed to sort of look around, and if you doubt the sincerity of the farmers, that they are not like hiding people from you. Ismark explains that no one is a fugitive, simply people are going missing. He explains that the last disappearance happened 5 days ago, and that the person was named Gregor Stanovich. He was an old man who lived alone, devout follower of the Morning Lord, and he was reported missing by his friend, who is the gallant gentleman that you often see having breakfast at the tavern. So yeah, like, good stuff there. You guys head back to town. You speak with the gallant gentleman to confirm his story. He says that he and his friend would often play at squares, which is some kind of game that they would play, and then basically he just stopped showing up, and then he went to look for him. He didn't answer his door. He didn't want to break down the door, so he went and reported it to Ismark. Ismark remembers that this is what happened, and then the gallant gentleman says, who would know? Mad Mary. She is always up and about at all hours of the night, screaming for that daughter that ran away. You could always ask her.
We heard some screaming when we first came to town, but kind of looking at Ismark, you saw the state that we were in.
Ismark says, yes, Mary, they call her mad, for she is touched with, she is, well, let me put it this way. When Ireena and I were young, there was other children our age we would play with. One was Gertruda, but after a while her mother began to keep her in the house more and more, making excuses for things for her not to come out and play with other children. In time, we never saw her again. We used to wonder what had happened to her, but what is disturbing is Mary, she claims when you speak with her that Gertruda is still a young girl, but she would be same age as Ireena. Now she claims that 2 weeks ago, someone stole Gertrude away from her. But no one believes her because she is crazy. Most of us think the girl must have run away a long time ago. Or perhaps even died. My father says that their family business is not our business, but I would have liked to take a look in their house to at least know for sure what happened, but I don't feel that Gertrude's disappearance is related to these others because I don't know if it really happened. But she has really ramped up the hysterics in the last 2 weeks. She wanders the town calling for her daughter, begging others for help. It is a public disturbance, but there's just too much other things on plate right now. So.
Mm. And kind of looking at this gentleman, do you recall the last time you saw them? One that went missing?
The gentleman says, yes, 6 days ago we got together in the afternoon to play at squares and play at cards, but after we parted, I did not see him the next day.
Do you know of like their activity they do now?
Gregor is well. Gregor was basically living off of family money. He was a barrel wright by trade, but with the economy in shambles, there's not much to put in barrels. He still made a decent living and was managing to care for his expenses, but that is about it. I suppose he could have gone missing delivering some barrels to one of the outlying farms, but his cart, his tools, they're all still there. At least behind his house.
Maybe we could check his house. Errands to Ismark.
Ismark says, sure. Let us go check the house. I have looked it over before, but perhaps you will see something that I did not. Alright, so you guys are going to head over there.
Yeah.
So, Reed and Ireena, you guys are going to return to the house of the family of the man who died.
Right before we walk in, I ask Ireena, what were their names again?
Those are great questions that you are asking me, and I am sure that I know this answer. No problem. Definitely know this answer that you are asking me about what their names are. And in the background, the DM scrambles to grab his notes. Let's see. No worries.
I mean, you could just make them up. I don't remember. So.
Oh, no. We had a map for it and everything. Just need a second.
You can rewatch the VOD.
Yeah,
No.
we just watched last week's episode.
I mean, y'all have to rewatch the VOD because I didn't write their names down.
Yeah, I got him right here. All right. The wife's name is Anya Stovina. All right, and let's see. This guy's dead. It's just the two of you there. Everyone else is somewhere else. So
Two creepy children. Check.
Yeah. All right. And everyone looks adorably small on this map, but that's fine. So here we go. I think this is the right. Nope. Hold on. I think this is the right scene. There we go. Okay. Yeah. So the woman is there when you knock on the door. And she sees you, and she sees that you do not have her husband with you, and she sees that it's just the two of you, and then she says, "What is the news, Ireena? How is he? How is Dolan?"
Anya, do you mind if we sit down and talk?
She says, "Okay, should we talk out here where the children cannot hear, or?"
That may be best, yeah.
Okay. All right, so yeah, you guys kind of step outside the home, and then she says, "He is dead, Yes?
I'm very sorry, but the sickness was too advanced, too far gone. We did everything we could, but which granted wasn't much. Um, but there was nothing we could do to save him. Dolan was a brave man, and he thought of you and the children to his last. But you're right, he's gone with the Morning Lord now.
It looks like she was kind of expecting this, and you see tears well up, but none of them spill down her cheek. Her jaw clenches and trembles, and she says, I don't know what to do now. I don't know what to do.
You have 2 children to take after, and this village needs strong people, strong women like you, of resolve and fortitude. You have done much to bring 2 children into this world and survive on your own. You can continue to do so and show that this land has not won.
Okay, give me a persuasion.
Okay.
Oh wow. Okay. She seems to be moved by your words, and she says, I must ask, have you figured out what is causing this disease? Are you any closer to a cure?
We don't yet know the cause exactly, but we have learned quite a bit from Dolan. So even in his death, he is doing good for the world.
I ask because one of my children is showing symptoms of the disease.
Was the child bitten or scratched?
No, I looked for marks. There are none. She has the fever, and her eyes are starting to cloud.
Ireena, should we look at the child?
Would it be best for me to just... She kind of looks away. To just kill her? To spare her the fate that is coming? Or is there a chance to save her?
Continue your prayers to the Morning Lord. I'm sure they will be heard. But, and I'll try to whisper this if I can. But to Ireena, has anyone that has ever come down with the sickness recovered?
She says, oh, that is a good question. Yes, actually, there is a man, a big burly fellow. He works for Bildrath. His name is, well, everyone calls him Periwinkle.
Then I would say there's hope, Anya. Make sure the child gets rest and try to keep them cool and comfortable. I'm sure Ireena could come by later with maybe some of her healing herbs and see if there's something we can do. But
Ireena nods.
But if it gets worse, please let us know. Perhaps hang and I'll look around. Is there any sort of colored cloth anywhere, like that isn't like just gray?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, I'll hang a colored scarf outside the door, and we will know to come that things have gone worse for you.
Oh, I must ask. The water, I normally get it from the well, but it is far, and I don't want to leave the girls alone, especially now. Do you think I could just use water from the rain barrels?
Wait. You say you've gotten water from a well?
Yes. That is normally where we get the water from. We had the rain barrel installed, but only one. We tried to save it just for emergency.
And your child drank from the well?
We all have been drinking the well water.
Dolan too?
Yes.
Have you and your other child drank recently?
Yes? I will admit it. It gave me diarrhea.
I hold off on drinking from the well. If you don't have any rainwater, I'm sure we can find something else for you.
Ireena says, the only way that they do not have rainwater is if rain barrel has hole in it. They definitely should be good on that. Anya, why would you drink from the well if you have rain barrel? There is never a shortage of rain. And Anya says, Nolan liked the taste of the well water. He said you could taste, you could taste the earth in it, which I think was kind of gross. But I mean, water is water, right? And Ireena says, "Oof,
I
did
would
not think of that."
stick to the rainwater, and remember, if things go badly, please put out some sort of sign for us.
I will.
I'll mention to Ireena, I think we better go check out this well.
Okay. All right. So, investigation underway. Going to check on the well. Everybody at the inn. Where were you headed after the inn? Anna, you said you wanted to go talk to a lovely old woman, see if she's still in town. Maybe talk magical cooking.
Still trailing along with Anna.
All right, fair enough.
With Izzy between Anna and myself.
Anna will just talk to Izzy about whatever comes to mind.
All right. It doesn't take long for you to find her. And she is actually right, like a few buildings down from the tavern. And as you exit, you can hear her old, sturdy voice kind of carrying in the damp morning air. And she says, "Oh, start your day off right. Come and get yourself a dream pastry. Perhaps a nice warm meat pie on this chill and damp fall morning." And other NPC barks. I'm not gonna make you relive the PTSD of Divinity 2, but yeesh, you know what I'm talking about. And yeah.
Nobody has as many friends as the man with many cheeses.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That's from Divinity. Is that from 2 or 1? I don't know.
One had all the puns. 2, they tried for like real dialogue, which somehow made it even worse. But goddamn, it haunts me to this day. So Morgantha sees you guys and says, "Well, there they are. I trust you slept well last night. Did you have pleasant dreams?"
Good morning, Morgantha. We slept extremely well.
That is good to hear. These are dark times, and I doing my part to spread a bit of joy.
As are we. I have some questions for you about the goods that you can make.
Questions? What sort of questions might those be, dear?
Some of the townsfolk have brought up what they describe as dreams.
Yes. Pleasant dreams.
You're correct. I am curious as to how do you make these?
Oh.
I have an interest in the craft as well.
Do you? Well, it's a bit of a family secret. We have a small bakery just outside of Valakai. I am the face of industry. I go out into the world to peddle my pastries and try to spread the joy and peace of dreams. Meanwhile, my daughters tend to the shop.
What? She walks here from Valakai all by herself. That's interesting. Anyway,
that's very fucking interesting. That's very fucking interesting. Yeah.
We'll come back to that part. She will try to see if there's any kind of trade that could occur in Anna perhaps learning the basics from her or her daughters in exchange for, I don't think we're going to be willing to give up money for this, but maybe an errand they might need?
I am old and my bones are weary. You are young and spry and beautiful, and they say a pretty face sells a cup of wine. Perhaps it could sell a few pastries. Why don't we give it a trial run? I'll give you a box of pastries, and you sell them for me. Bring me the profits at sunset, and we will see if you have potential in the baking industry.
Is there an expectation that she has on how much money is expected to come back?
Ideally, I would like 2 gold pieces per pastry. But if a person has never had a pastry before, you may give them a free sample. That's just good business, dear.
You are a experienced businesswoman, and I am not.
If you have a good product, the people will come back for more and more.
Tell me more, Gantha. You walk from Valakai to here?
Oh, yes, it is a long journey with me and my cart. I used to have a little donkey, but he was eaten by wolves.
Do you not worry for your safety?
Oh, I do. But my desire to spread joyful dreams and bring light to the darkness gives me the courage to walk the roads. I have also in my long life acquired many talismans of protection.
Interesting.
And she jangles all of the talismans that you see in the artwork. They do a good job of concealing my passage, you see, and to tear those who might come to attack me.
Very good.
Perhaps, though, in the end, I am simply lucky. Or perhaps the Morning Lord sees the good I do and watches out for me.
I'm sure he does. He sees all good deeds. Where should I meet you at sunset?
I will keep it simple. I will return here at sunset. After all, I am keeping rooms at the tavern. Mine are just above yours. I could hear some snoring last night.
Lovely. I make sure Tiernan has heard most of that.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm
And
just
that's-
looking back and forth between these 2 real weird fucking ladies. What have I gotten myself into?
And that's really all I've got for her.
Izzy says, ask her if the bakery is made out of gingerbread.
I know, right? That's definitely the...
Why would
Tell
you
me,
make a
tell me.
bakery out of gingerbread?
No, don't actually ask her that. I was being smart.
Tell me, do you know anyone named Hansel or Gretel?
Anna, you have met people named Hansel Gretel before. Those names are very common in Kresik.
In the typical 1,000-yard stare towards Tiernan, she nods and says, yes, I know both of those.
He just sort of shudders a little bit. So, are we good to go then?
Well, you wouldn't want to head out without a little snack. I'm sure that your tummies will be rumbling later.
Believe it or
Me
not.
and-
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, me and Matthew already ate.
Of course, they serve a delicious breakfast. But is it filling? Is it filling for the body, but more important, Is it fulfilling for your soul? After all, young Matthew, you had such terrible dreams last night, didn't you, child? I know you were not trying to be rude, but you kept waking me up with your screams. And Matthew looks horrified.
Eric looks horrified because he didn't hear any of that. Oh my god.
I mean, you're at
Why?
1 HP. I don't know.
Yeah,
That's true,
I'm making the assumption that you were pretty much out cold, but
That's true.
you also don't have any training in perception, so I generally treat people with no training in perception as not being light sleepers. So, so she says, why don't you take this? And she hands him just a gorgeous looking cupcake and says, you eat this for dessert tonight, and you'll finally have some peace, child. Go on. You can take it. It's a gift. He starts to slowly reach out for it.
Eric would like to intervene and take
Okay.
the cupcake.
Oh,
Thank you.
I think the boy is more than capable of reaching out and taking a pastry. What a good friend you are. He does look very tired.
Yes, we've been through quite the ordeal.
Well, this is for Matthew. So, if you'd like your own pastry, please let us palaver and have a bit of commerce.
I'm sure we can split it in half, right, Matthew? The cupcake, I mean.
Matthew nods, like almost robotically, and is slowly backing away. And Morgantha says, all right, but, you, girl with the giant eyeballs, would you like, here, let me get you a box. We'll keep things simple. 3 cupcakes and 3 meat pies.
Thank you, Morgantha.
Let's see how you do. All right. Guys have any other interactions with her, or do you slowly back away?
Let's go find the others.
Maybe quickly back away.
Okay.
There is something I would very much like to ask, just before we leave.
To her?
Yeah.
Okay. So as everyone else is leaving, you linger a bit.
She mentioned that her bakery is near Valakai?
Valakai.
Valakai.
Is that
Tell
what
me.
you have to get in this campaign? Yeah. So you ask her about that. She says, yes, Valakai.
Tell me, compared to the village here where it currently residing in, how is the food over there?
Oh, don't get me started. Those Valakians are living the good life. They have parties every other week. And they've closed the gates to commerce with the outside world. Even though I am their neighbor, they shut me out. And they refuse to do any sort of trade this far east. They have sentenced this beautiful village to death. Without the trade road, without the trade from Valakai, this town is doomed.
And yet you're able to secure the ingredients needed for your pastries after being denied these trades, correct?
We are friends with the neighboring Vistani. There is a large camp near the lake. Together we try and make things work, since we are not allowed in the gated village any longer. The Baron has locked the town down, you see.
Thank you very much.
No worries at all.
You
Have
take
some
care now.
pleasant dreams, Eric.
You too, Morgantha.
Hmm.
He will then follow the rest of the group.
Okay. Slow at first, and then rapid steps to kind of catch up with the rest of the party.
Not
Precisely.
creepy at all.
All right. So, we could serendipitously say all of you guys run into each other in the middle of town. Else, the camera is going to cut over to Team Darius at the Gregor Stanovich's house. All right. So, Ismark says this is the house. The cart is out back. The man used to have donkey to pull cart, and then he had to pull cart himself because the donkey died.
Hmm. That sucks.
It does suck. A cart full of barrels, even if they're empty, is a heavy burden for anyone to drag through these muddy roads and pathways.
Well,
But you can see here all of the barrel stuff. He has sort of open workshop here in the back. There's back door that leads inside, front door, couple of windows. Very small home. He is basically a first floor where his workshop is, and then upstairs where his living quarters, which is just a single bedroom are. Barrels always are business. That's what he used to say. Barrels always are business. He is one of the few merchants that has still managed to find work in these times, but with him disappearing, now I guess we don't have any fucking barrels either.
You said you guys had a problem with another businessman in this town?
Yes, Bildrath. He is the only viable business left besides the tavern. And I guess if you count that Morgantha lady who started coming around.
Think he'd be possible of any foul play?
He is always about foul play, but in a legal way. As people began to struggle, he would buy out their goods, buy out their businesses, that sort of thing, but he would never openly harm them or break the law. He almost says the S word. The Dark Lord encourages what they call a free market. The survival of the fittest, the strongest and smartest and most capable survive. There is no way for us to mandate how the businesses are run per se. So he has sort of just bought out all of his competitors. Especially those families that are leaving town for Velakai, or worse, to try and brave the mists at the eastern gates. He offers to buy what they have at the pittance and adds it to his stores. The problem is he does not sell anything back to community. In fact, he has set the prices of his goods so high that none could afford it, even my father.
So he's just a hoarder.
When questioned about this after a few drinks, he says he has a big business plan, that when the roads for trade reopen, he will be the richest man in all of Barovia, for he is sitting on a king's fortune and goods. And once the roads are open again, the demand will be high, and he can sell to all the rich people of Velakai and beyond, Krezik, the vineyards, perhaps even the castle, which obviously these ideas, I suppose, have merit, but meanwhile he starves and kills his own community with his greed. Now that's my father to step in, to take away everything that he has hoarded and redistribute it to the people. But I may as well have taken the shit on the dinner table. He was so upset with me. He said that would be a gross abuse of power, a slippery slope for a leader to take. He said that a leader cannot just take what he wants, that is a tyrant. He refuses to see that Bildrath has a chokehold around the neck of this dying village.
Well, you won't be able to sell anything unless the trade roads go out.
Yes,
That
but
or the
he is.
stock is gonna go expired.
You would think so, but it feels like a bit of madness has overtaken the man.
Not gonna lie, Ismark, your town is pretty fucked.
It's pretty fucked, yes, I know. But it means a lot to my father and the memory of my mother. So I do whatever is needed to take care of it. Now, I already shouldered the door open. And he kind of kicks the back door a little bit, and it goes. And he says, "Feel free to look around."
All right, and we'll do so.
Okay. Give me investigation check. Mackenzie could do so with advantage.
Okay.
And we'll just assume that you are helping her. Move heavy things out of the way.
This blind one again?
Yeah, I mean, investigation's always blind.
Oh,
but-
okay.
Yep.
So
Or as they say on the other side of the fence, a secret roll. Okay. As you look around the house, you wonder if maybe Ismark is incredibly overworked or maybe just Mackenzie is a trained police officer. She immediately says,
forensic scientist.
yeah. She says that there was a fight here. Look, hold on. Ismark, did you move anything? Like, did you knock anything over or move anything around? And he says, "No, I just looked around. I didn't see him. I didn't see any notes. I didn't see any, like, weapons or, like, blood stains or anything. I just assumed, he just went missing." And then she murmurs to you, Darius, and says, "Well, this is probably why his investigation is going very poorly. I don't think he's very good at it."
Damn, Gina.
And he says, "Did I do something wrong?" And she says, No, you did everything right by not touching anything." Okay, so look. Why is the furniture overturned, right? If Ismark didn't knock it over, who knocks over the furniture and just leaves it like that, right?
True.
And then look here. This is so clue, but see this candlestick? Huh? And she shows you, and it's slightly bent. Just ever so slightly. And then she says, and she turns it over, and you see that there is blood on it.
So this
And
is
then-
this like a weapon?
She just stops, and she just stares at you. And she says, "Yes, Darius, the bent candlestick with blood on it was used as a weapon. Yes."
Just flatly looks back at her. It's like,
Darius's player. I want everyone to know that Lex is a very intelligent man. Okay, he is role playing a 9 intelligence right now, and he's doing a very good job. Okay, let's keep going. Yeah,
My
so
boy
she says,
is invested in mental stuff. He's a hard worker.
She says, yes, this was used as a weapon. And she says, so let's keep looking. Maybe we'll find something else. And as you guys are looking around, you got a good check. She says, and what is this? And she holds up what looks like a necklace that has a broken clasp. And at the end of the necklace is a pendant. And you, I believe, would recognize the symbol on that pendant right away. Maybe not. Maybe not Darius. I don't know. Yeah.
Something that we've seen.
Yeah, it is the symbol of the Morning Lord.
Picture didn't come out, but okay.
Yeah. Here you go.
Yes.
And she says this guy was a devout follower. That's what Ismark said. So why would he leave without his rosary or whatever this is?
This seems more to me like less missing person, more kidnapping, like snatch and grab.
Who do you think did it?
No idea.
She stares at you. She says, "You have no suspicions, no inkling, nothing. Just nothing that comes to mind that who might have done this."
Processing.
She says,
You think the
"Oh,
priest?
yeah? Yes. I think the priest did it.
Why would he kidnap people?
I don't know, but it's quite a mystery."
I guess then like turn to Ismark and be like, Father Donovich, he seemed really off.
Mm-hmm.
Think he'd be capable of this?
What do you have there? And you show him the thing, and he says,
Yeah.
"Oh, that actually looks like Father Donovich's. But he had one when we went to see him the other day. But normally, he has one that looks like this. Where did you find? You found this inside?
Points to where we found it.
You must be an incredible detective. For you to find this and for me to miss it? Incredible."
Just looks at Mackenzie.
Mackenzie side eyes you like, "Let's be polite," kind of deal.
Yeah.
Says, "Well, you know that's why you brought us, to get a fresh pair of eyes. You know that's why we're here." And he says, "Duh. All right. I guess we need to go confront him. Should we tell the others, or just? I mean, it's just Father Donovich. Maybe he knows more."
Maybe the weather's cleared up, right? From when we last were at the church.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we do get the others. Say we came
Alright.
by to do something about Jack now that the weather's better, and we bring it up in conversation and see how he acts.
Fair enough. All right. So we will cut to another scene at this point. Let's see. Oops. So this is Ireena and Reed all by their lonesomes, and they are heading over to. Were you guys heading to the well?
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll throw a camera bat on there. All right. And we will activate that scene. There we go. All right. So,
Is it
come over to the
supposed be
scene.
dark on this scene?
Yeah, it's pretty dark.
Is it pretty dark? Okay, let me add a sun real quick.
Yeah, I can only see like around itself.
Okay.
I don't have a token on this scene, so
Yeah, I can't see anything.
Oh, camera bat doesn't allow you to see? All right, hold on.
I think it was just a regular camera back. I couldn't drag out the PC one.
Oh, no. PC Vision all. That's right.
Yeah, it says I don't have
There you go.
permission to do that one.
Okay. Now can you guys see PC Vision all?
yeah.
All right, great. Okay. So, ignore that blood. That was from the camera bat who's apparently badly injured. All right. So everyone in this campaign, even the camera bat, is got injuries. All right, so you come here, and there are some people walking away from the well with buckets, slung onto either end of a stick, across their shoulders, and they are kind of walking away from the well.
Without trying to cause hysteria,
I
will tell them that, excuse me, sorry, villagers, people.
They turn around.
The water in the well, it might be compromised. We believe it has made a few people sick. If you have rainwater, I would suggest using that instead until we can determine if it's safe.
The water is sick?
We believe so. We need to investigate, but better safe than sorry, right?
Ireena says, "Yes, don't drink the water. There was a man pooping in the well So much poop. Is pooping all the time. My brother has him under custody right now for too much public pooping, but you will be drinking poop if you take that water. And the villagers immediately begin to drop and empty their buckets out.
Oh, this
into the
was
stream.
for quick thinking. This is good.
Well done.
Always go with poop.
Yeah, poop is like always the answer. So, all right. So they say, "Oh, thank you, Rose of the Valley. I did not want to drink poop water. Rainwater it is." And they all head off, unless you want to interrogate them or ask them questions.
No.
Okay.
Like
It was hard work to find so many haunted ass looking villagers. But
right.
I put in the hours and I tried my best. All right. So as they leave with their empty buckets, she says, "Okay, this is the only well that still works in the village."
Okay. Let's see
All right.
what we can see.
Hop,
So,
hop on the buckets, and I will lower you down.
maybe we find
Well, it's
another
just
approach.
that you're too weak to work the crank, and
You're not wrong. You don't have to
Yeah.
keep bringing it up, but you're
Well,
not wrong.
it's just you and me, so you could be honest. I have to ask, how do you have muscles? She starts to poke at you, and she says, "Is this like a suit, or is this like padding or something?" I've
No,
watched
it's-
you. I've watched you. You can barely hold yourself up when you're sitting. How sick are you?
Damn.
My arms have been
I don't want my
damaged.
brother falling for a sickly boy who dies. Huh? What's wrong with you?
I'll basically tell the story that in order to
God.
be the guy on stage
Yeah.
in these plays, that a lot of times people want to see people that look more like Ismark than people that look more like, say, Matthew. And in my effort to try to increase my muscles, I went to a doctor, and it damaged my arms more than helped me.
Wait. There's a lot for me to take in here. In your world, people are so obsessed with how they look that they would go to a doctor whose job is to heal and protect people. And they would let this doctor chop up their bodies to make their bodies different, even if it could hurt them?
Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
That seems kind of shallow to me.
And I'll just kind of look down and be like, "You're not wrong."
Like this big, huge chin you have, like people are into this. Is this fake too? Like how much of you is like?
No.
Are these
just-
your real eyeballs? Can you just get eyeballs changed out?
I Ireena, look, and I like grab her wrists and like take them off me.
I'm sorry. Your personal space. I'm sorry.
I feel like perhaps there's some air we should clear.
Okay.
Last night at dinner, normally my words, I don't stumble over them so much, but I feel like I said some insensitive or asked some
Oh,
questions
like
that
when
were
you
very personal.
implied it was for out of nowhere that I was going to be engaged to Vasily von Holtz in front of my father? First of all, yes, I have big crush on him. He's very handsome and he has cool voice, but like, and I mean he's very handsome. But like, I didn't. There's nothing going on there. I told my father that he was a great man. I told him that I liked to see him and spend time with him. How would you know any of this?
I got the wrong impression at the Blood on the Vine when we were talking. I thought I heard or assumed that you were engaged, that you were an item, and I'm sorry.
An
was out
item?
of- Together.
Oh no. I mean, I wouldn't say no. I mean, you saw that guy. He looks pretty good. I mean,
Yeah, that's true.
yeah, like not like this. You got this kind of baby boy sort of soft boy thing.
Hey, a lot of people like this look too.
And I bet Vasily von Holtz are just I bet his muscles are real muscles.
Hey,
But anyway, it's fine. It's like woman's makeup. I
but I
but
lift
for-
up my shirt and be like, "Hey, this is all real, all right."
Okay, it looks. I mean, I assume you'll be stronger based on how you look. That's why I was confused. So I thought you had some kind of wasting disease or something.
No. Just
Okay.
a
It just
bad
feels so much
doctor's
worse that you felt so bad about yourself, that you are so desperate to be accepted and to advance your career, that you would destroy your own body and not be happy in it.
the life of an actor, right?
I really got no chill.
No, I'm like, damn, she's laying my shit bare.
Oh, don't worry, I will not tell anyone your secret, and you just don't spread rumors about me anymore, and let's start over.
I would very much like that. And
Okay.
I'll reach out my hand to shake her hand.
All right, she shakes your hand. She says, now get in the bucket.
What if I
Mhm.
shine a light down in the
Do you have bullseye lantern? How else you're going to get light to go bottom of
So
well?
we do have a bullseye lantern, but I'm
Uh-huh.
gonna assume my weak ass did not pick it up. So I
My
don't think
assumption
I have
about
it.
Reed is you carry one weapon and the clothing that you're wearing with your strength. I would
Yeah.
assume that you want to keep your
yeah,
options
leather
open.
armor
Yeah.
And a tin
once
of
I get a
Altoids.
weapon, it's gonna be and
Yeah.
Altoids. And with the 2 kits I have, yeah, I'm pretty.
Oh yeah.
I'm up there.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm very like I don't have a back. I mean, I have a backpack, but it's basically empty.
Right.
I could go in there, but let's. I assume it's just like any typical old well. It's dark as fuck down that shaft.
Yeah. My brother in Christ. This is the well that starred in such movies as The Ring.
Okay,
Like,
got
yeah,
it.
this is a very spooky well. Yeah.
How strong does the rope or I hope chain look?
The rusted old chain.
Okay.
It looks like it looks well used but not well tended.
And the watertight barrel, does it look like it can support my weight of?
Oh, there is no barrel. It's just a really big ass bucket. But not
that's
too
what I mean.
big.
Yeah, but sorry,
Because
bucket.
then people wouldn't be able to crank it
Yeah.
up. Yeah. You could only imagine that the people that are coming here to get well water do not have rain barrels, because it rains a lot here. So rain barrel seems like the right way to get water. They don't have rain barrels, or like the guy that just died, they think well water tastes better. And I have met people like that in real life, and God bless those people. But well
they're
water,
insane.
yeah, well water does not taste good. And if anyone out there thinks well water tastes good, you probably also eat ass. And again, no judgment there. But like it takes different people, different strokes, that sort of thing. Anyways,
I
yeah.
have an idea.
Dirt flavoring.
And I think it says to Ireena as well. So, Crash, I have in one of my modern day tokens is supposed to be a mirror because
Okay.
read.
Oh, smart. Okay.
So, could I potentially now? I know there's not a lot of sunlight in Barovia, but any sort of ambient. I mean, it's daytime, so there's got to be some light. Can I try to reflect whatever is wherever it's shining into the well?
Give me a sleight of hand. And Ireena likes the idea. She will light a torch as well. I don't know if that would help in the daytime, but maybe if it's it's always overcast, so that might help. Ooh, okay. Your sleight of hand, it's good, but it's just struggling to get the light to really illuminate anything. It's more like you're getting just the slightest glimmer, like further down, but this is a pretty deep well.
All right, I'm going to get rid of one of those tokens and put a mirror in my inventory real quick.
Okay. She says, that was a good idea, though. Oh, wait. What if we lower the torch in the buckets? The bucket shouldn't burn, right?
Yeah. I think. I mean, it's wet, right? So at least it'll take some time.
Yeah! And it's a chain, it's not a rope, so it should be okay, maybe. Ismark will be pretty moon. It's just a bucket, though. It's fine. Right?
Yeah, and honestly, the bucket can be replaced more easily than.
Okay.
Yep. So we'll light the torch. And
Yeah,
lower
she
it.
just takes the lit torch, and she says, here you go, torch. You're off on a new adventure. And you guys begin to lower it down, or she lowers it down. You can look.
I'll peer over. Yeah.
Okay. As the bucket gets closer and closer to the water, you give me a perception check.
Oh, not my strong suit.
Oh. All right. There seem to be body parts in the water. deep down, like to get to the water level, but there are body parts down there.
Please tell me it's not moving. I mean, not that it makes it any better, but
You think you see maybe a torso and like a head, and as you are staring, maybe the buoyancy of the corpse causes it to shift, but it rolls over.
I
And
yeah,
you see
and
see
it's your
this,
own face. Oh.
no, and you see this very dead body stare up at you, and with the light nearby, it starts to twitch and move.
I immediately toss my cookies on the side of the
Okay.
the outside of the well. But yeah,
Okay.
I mean, no constitution check needed. I vomit.
Ireena says, "Oh, so someone did poop in the well."
No, worse. Somebody died in the well.
Ooh, that's not good.
No, and I think it might even be a zombie.
She locks the crank and she looks over and she says, "Ah, well, shit. I guess that solves that mystery."
Yes, even if we take the zombie out, the water is contaminated, corrupted. It would take more than what we have to. I say we just board this well up.
Okay. You need to go find Ismark, and or my father. I will stay here and I will scare people away from using the well.
This place is like I mean, not quite like a town square, but like it seems pretty safe, right?
Yeah.
Like, okay.
I mean, she's lived here her whole life, so
she has a hand crossbow. So
she and her brother fight zombies, on the regular. So she.
Now I'm more worried about me.
I thought you were being gallant for a second.
No, I totally was worried about her, but I'm saying is, okay, now I'm worried about me. Okay, I will find Ismark, and I have no idea where to go or what to do. I mean, I have a good direction sense, but I don't know where Ismark is. So
probably just head back to the tavern and probably be your best. Tavern's like this.
Yeah, I'll go to the tavern area and just look outside and see if I can find him. Tell her I'll be back soon.
All right, on your way there, you are solicited by Morgantha. Do you want to just quickly walk past her?
I will give her the charming smile, say, good morning, Morgantha. Always a pleasure. And I'll kind of nod my head and say, the pastries smell lovely today, but I must run.
She says, make sure little Matthew eats his pastry before bed.
Remind myself to smack the pastry out of Matthew's hands.
Okay. All right, so Ireena's off guarding the well. You head back. All right, the rest of you over here, you kind of had breakfast. You talked to Morgantha. You see, you hear her talking to Reed as you guys are kind of. Where were you headed next after Morgantha? Team Anna Tiernan.
The intention was to try to find the rest of the group.
Oh, well, then serendipitously that works out. Yeah. So everybody converges, wibbly wobbly, timey wimey style. Everybody converges back at the tavern. All right. So, I guess we just say that you all does anybody not share any information? No? Okay, so everyone now knows what everyone else knows. Okay. All right, what now?
What time of day is it? Like noon or something like that?
We'll assume that it's like 10 or 11 at this point. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So then, yeah.
Like you guys were up early burning corpses and stuff, so you guys hit up those farms early in the morning.
Yeah. So then I'm assuming Mackenzie and Darius kind of asked Ismark if we go to the tavern so we can actually eat something before we can
okay, fair enough. Yeah. So before you go to confront Father Donovich, you want to be doing it on a full stomach. That makes sense. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. After we all share everything, Tiernan's gonna look at Mackenzie and be like, "We need to get the body out, and take samples of the water, right? Like,
oh yeah,
we can't just board up the only well in the town."
Well, I think it rains enough here that they'll be fine.
Ismark says, not everyone has rain barrels, but with the barrel maker missing, I will I will do what I can to make sure that the community is sharing water, those who have the ability to collect it. And that is our last well, though. If there was some way that we could purify it, just in case.
Well-
The weather here is fickle. We have had the rainy season all year, but it is no telling if it will stay.
Well, like
Look,
I
I used to be an EMT, right? I know that people aren't just going to follow directions and not use that well. So
Which
we
is
need
why
Well,
we
yeah.
boarded it up.
Right.
Like I
I mean-
asked earlier, this alchemy kit, can we whip up something to work on the water?
If only there was a way to purify food and drink.
Ismark looks left and he looks right, and he says, "Oh, right, you left her at the well. This is when my sister would say some nonsense about the abbot at the Abbey of Markovia, blah 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 blah. He could do it with his magic, blah blah blah. I don't know. We could get the body out, but I don't know if the water is just a lost cause at this point."
Well, there were open body parts, so I'm going to assume it's completely contaminated. But
and
so, yes, remove the body. In the meantime, until we find a way to unfunk the water, I suggest we board it up and prevent its use to prevent any further contamination and sickness amongst the village.
this is very good news that you have found the source of the disease. I mean, there is no cure, right? But at least no one else will be infected.
Well,
Assuming the zombies that we locked up don't escape. But
I'm sorry, you did what?
They've been herding zombies into houses because they can't deal with all of them.
well, I mean, you saw how hard they are to kill. I mean, it's just two people. We can't risk any of their body parts escaping or anything like that.
I think
Have you thought
perhaps
about-
we should take the next few days to go around town and take care of the zombies now that you have more people to help them.
Well,
Certainly. That sounds like something that we could do with a skill challenge, so that we don't just have a bunch of fights against zombies and houses over and over.
No, we're gonna do this one at a
Oh.
time.
oh god,
Roll initiative.
but
But
also
zombie hunt.
also there have been people who have been drinking water, so they're gonna start showing symptoms pretty soon. So we have to start
Right.
working on that.
All right. All right. The Father Dunovich thing will have to wait. It's not like he's
Yeah.
going anywhere. It would be good if someone could keep an eye on him at least. Make sure he doesn't get up to anything if he is in fact involved in these disappearances. But
Wouldn't-
stopping the use of the well, I think, is more important.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Concur.
Yeah.
Before we get into the zombie situation, shouldn't we gear up?
You would sure. I mean, what? I mean, what do you gear up? What do you need exactly? I mean, we have few things left at my estate, or my father's estate, I should say. But again, not much, and I don't think you could afford Bilge's prices.
Those crossbows that you have.
Yes.
Could we hang on to them for a little while?
Sure, I will. I will see about deputizing you. You can be militia. That will make it okay.
And another thing about that man that's hoarding everything,
Yes.
even if it is some sort of a mental illness. Have you ever heard of the idea of nationalizing vital industries?
What?
Is
So-
that really the time for this?
I'll just sort of explain the idea behind nationalization to Ismark as we're going
Oh,
about the rest
well,
of the day.
yes, I understand this nationalism. It is like basically monarchy, but you pretend that there's not just like one king.
Sort of.
Maybe we can have
Yeah.
this discussion over our next
Well,
dinner.
it's pretty simple. Basically, the Dark Lord, he just says, "This is the law," and then his arbiters come out into the world and they say, "This is the law now," and then everybody does it, and then you pay your taxes.
Oh, so this is just like a...
Great, you're making it fascist now.
I mean, what is a monarchy? Honestly. Um, without any checks and balance system, what is a monarchy? So yeah, he says it's difficult because sometimes what is right and what is wrong changes on the whim. But I can tell you now, since you will be deputized, what the laws are. The first law is no murder. Now, if you do murder someone, you better hope it was in self-defense, and you better hope that they were not a noble. Because it'll go real bad for you. Sometimes nobles can kill commoners and get away with it, because nobles. And sometimes you can pay fines to the family of those you have killed to make up for it. This is part
Like
of why
murder.
this is part of why nobles can get away with that sort of thing.
Ismark, isn't your family the only noble family in town?
Yes, this town, yes. The other noble families have left or died off. But like Bildrath, for example, is possessed of some significant wealth that he has come by on his own means. He could probably argue with my father for paying fines rather than facing punishment. You don't want to steal? Stealing is bad. Crimes of a sexual nature or against children will put you, will get you hung up for the crows.
Like that guy.
Yeah, like the man you probably saw. I had to string him up myself. He cried the whole time, even as the ravens came for his eyes and tongue. It is important that people understand that laws are what hold us together. It is what separates us from the monsters.
Wait, you
Also,
didn't kill him first before you strung him up?
No. It is important that his screams be heard by all so that they understand that justice is being dealt out.
That's kind of fucked up, but okay.
That is what we are told to do by the Dark Lord. Banditry, one of the worst crimes you could ever commit. You may have heard the stories, but the Dark Lord, at one time at least, he used to patrol all the great thoroughfares of Barovia himself. And should he ever happen upon criminals, especially bandits, he would make an example of them, such that it would make the blood run cold of all who witnessed his works. And above all these other laws is the most important law of all, paying your taxes. The taxes are collected yearly, and then settlements that do not have the taxes, there is generally a very bad, it's very bad. So that is the hardest part of my job, is to make sure people are paying their taxes. My father, he has covered people for the last several years, but it has eaten through the family's wealth. We are nearly as, well, no, that is an exaggeration. We are still far better off than others, but certainly we are living lean in these times. So there you go. Now you know the laws of the land. I don't know when you will have to start paying taxes. I think if you stay in a settlement for like 3 months or more, they generally add you to the audit for the population, and then they seek you out for your, tax season. I'm not sure what the Dark Lord even does with taxes these days, because the roads are in disrepair, the communities are all falling apart. There are entire towns that have ceased to exist, simply died.
I don't mean to rush us along, but your sister is not exactly the most patient of
Oh,
sorts.
yes. Well, of course, we were having this conversation while walking.
Okay.
So you guys arrive. You guys arrive at the well. Ireena is sitting on the edge of the well. kind of kicking her feet and singing to herself. And then when she sees you guys, she hops off the well and she waves at everyone. She says, "Hey, it took you long enough, but you found everyone. Good job, Reed."
Yes, of course.
So you guys confirm everything that was suspected, and the well does in fact have at least one zombie in it.
I don't.
Like,
How do we
we
get
can just
it
shoot
out?
it from up here to make sure that we don't have to deal with it fighting on its way up.
So you guys are just gonna empty crossbows like down into the well until you think it stopped moving.
Just to ask, how many bolts do we have?
And who has these crossbows?
These are all great questions. First of all, I think they would still be back at the house, right? Because I don't think anybody asked to take the crossbows with them when they left today. And then secondly, yeah, like how many bolts do they have? Would that be essentially wasteful to just fire them down to the well? Because there's no getting them back because they're going to sink to the bottom of the water supply, the underground spring or reservoir.
I'm just going off of the rolls that happened last session when they tried to pin cushion
Oh
it.
yeah,
It took probably like 15 rolls.
Yeah. So we'll say on average it's about 15 crossbow bolts to safely kill a zombie. And then these more than likely you wouldn't get any of them back. So
That's a lot of ammunition.
but with all the parts acting independently and whatnot, that's going to be like, how are you going to know? How are you going to know if there's just some hands or feet or just a floating head that are still somehow animated?
Yeah, so I think we'd have to have somebody like rappel down the well, which is why I wanted to shoot the zombie first.
Fair.
Or
Okay.
Can't we drain the water out first?
I mean, it depends on how the well's fed.
Yeah. Ismark says this well has provided water for generations. We assume that it is fed by either an underground river or some sort of reservoir. Maybe the reservoir is fed by a river.
Well, it has to lead to somewhere.
Like a spring. It is appearance that Ismark has no training in nature, and he is just sort of making up things he thinks might be how a well works.
So it's like the
he's been
groundwater
right
of some sort.
so far.
Yeah.
is it possible to fish out parts one at a time?
I mean, the smaller ones, sure, but there was an enormous torso in there that won't fit in the bucket.
Probably fish out what we can to start with, and then see what's left.
Yeah, and then shoot that last one.
All right, I guess Ireena and I are going fishing for arms and legs.
All right, so playing the crane game, slowly over the next hour. Also, how are you dealing with passerbys? Are you
Anna-
Just sort of
Anna-
like nodding at them.
Oh,
like,
Anna,
"Oh,
let's
hey."
let's have Anna. Anna will hit up Izzy and ask her if she would be willing to do some crowd control with her.
Okay. So anybody that comes towards the well, you guys are over there. What is the excuse you give to people so that they don't?
Poop. We said poop earlier.
We tell them that there's construction going on behind us,
Okay.
and then I will also use the opportunity to try to spin it into maybe putting something a little bit brighter in their day with either a meat pie or a cupcake. And I would like to try to recruit Izzy to help sell these.
It's a pyramid scheme.
All right.
Fucking Girl Scouts.
I'm gonna say that Izzy is probably not okay with selling these to people. She would probably say you should just throw those in the trash.
We're doing it to make money and to get favors so we can survive here.
You are
need all
being
the help.
a drug dealer.
This town, look at it.
Okay, yeah. And look, I'm no stranger to
Just
drugs.
hold up,
Drugs are great, responsibly. Okay, this doesn't seem responsible. This feels like there's something in these things that are really messing people up. Like, no? No?
We need the money. We need the friends.
Okay. Tiernan, first of all, you cool with Izzy kind of going off to help Anna? Yay or nay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, all right. So, Anna, give me a persuasion on Izzy.
Okay, I'm going to remind you that I picked up heroic flair just in
Okay.
case. I
Very
will
nice.
use it constantly
Okay.
if necessary.
Beautiful.
Persuasion.
Oh, wow. You don't need it. Izzy looks back at Tiernan and she said, well, it doesn't look back, yeah, because it's blind. But she kind of looks back in the direction of, everyone else that's making noise and, like, oh, what do you got this time? Is that a dick? Oh my God. And then she says, all right, I'll help you.
Thank you, Izzy.
Okay.
And I'll split some of the proceeds with you.
All right, so give me another persuasion check, and how good it is how many pastries you manage to sell and how much you can sell them for.
I will. Oh, it's already at advantage if they're less than
Yeah.
me. I'm not going to use inspiration. It's straight
All
up.
right. Oh, wow. Okay, so with her help, you get a nat 20.
Nice.
Yeah, and so you sell all of them. And you actually make a tidy profit of... Holy shit. 8... Okay, so she wanted 2 gold each, which would have been 12 gold. You actually make double that, 24
Holy
gold.
crap.
Yeah.
I will give Izzy 4 gold.
Okay. I guess I'll add it to her sheet. Can NPCs carry money? Let's see. Oh yeah, they have a little spot for money there. Okay. All right.
And then we'll just stay out here until they finish their task.
Fair enough. All right.
Well, there's an extra reed hanging out by Izzy for some reason, by the way.
Oh, my bad. He is everywhere. When you look back in the sand and you saw only one set of footprints, no, he could not have carried you. He could not have carried you down that beach. All right. So over here, you guys are pulling up parts. One of the parts that pops up is a disembodied hand. The hand does try to attack when it pops out of the barrel. I'm assuming that you guys could beat it in initiative, but we will do... Yeah. If you guys can beat it in initiative, I'm assuming that you would probably beat it down before it was able to kill somebody. So the initiative that you are trying to beat is... the thing's a little slow, because it's a hand that has no other body parts to help it. Okay, so literally there's no way that you couldn't have done it. So it's moving slow, and it looks like it's getting ready to turn into like Thing from the Addams Family and launch itself at somebody's face. And then what do you guys do with it, since you beat it in initiative? And you were expecting weird shit in the bucket, so it doesn't have surprise on you or anything.
Darius would have a torch lit, and we'll just sear it with fire.
Okay, the average damage that you would deal out with your incredible strength and a torch is not nearly enough to kill this hand.
Yeah, I figured, but that's what I'm contributing.
Okay.
I
have a dagger, so I'll just stab.
All right, so you're going to stab. All right, so you guys all just like do the Giphy Glyph, curb stomp, held actions so that it doesn't steal, and then you all just beat it down together. All right. It takes many hits, but eventually you either destroy so much of it that it cannot function, or it just loses whatever unholy life force was powering it, and it is done.
Ooh, Darius without a hand without a body. There's a joke there somewhere, but I'm too stressed out to think of it.
Okay,
Darius
and I guess Ismark has like a sack, and you're just throwing all of these
remains,
like bloated, like just disgustingly wet and sloughing from the bone like zombie parts. You just stuffing them in the sack essentially. All right. Keep going.
All right. So you said there was, obviously a couple other pieces. So I guess we'll try to fish those out. The head, was it connected to the torso?
Yes, the head and torso were connected and are very much alive, and you were just not able to get that into the bucket.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
while you guys are working, you see a stray dog. Aw. He looks starved and scared, and he starts to head over to you. And Ismark says, "I did not think there were any dogs left. I thought we had eaten them all."
I'll just give him like a shame on you look, and puppy.
He looks confused, and he says, "The food is scarce. People did what they had to do."
Then eat a plant.
All right, give me a handle animals. He is curious about you guys.
Okay.
God damn. Let's see. Oh, nope. So Reed, you try a little too hard, and he gets spooked, and it looks like he's going to dash away.
No, puppy.
Anyone else interested in trying to coax this thing? It seems to be curious because you got this rancid smell now that you have this like stuff out of the well. And yeah, he definitely seems to have been attracted by the smell.
This should be fine. Darius will take out one of his energy bars, unwrap it, and just chuck it away so the dog can go after it.
Oh, okay. The dog rushes over, sniffs it, snatches it, and runs off. Unless anybody else was trying to do anything.
Unless I was wanting to have a pet dog.
Oh, bye, puppy.
Okay, and so now there's still some parts that you just can't get, and then of course there's the torso of the zombie. The torso and head.
Alright, well either somebody goes down, or we play shoot fish in a barrel.
I'm just going to assume that I will not be able to fit through this well.
She talks to Ismark. Ismark talks to her, and he says, "All right, I'm gonna be honest with you. Supplies are low, and neither Ireena or myself know how to create more ammunition for our crossbows. So we can certainly take shots, but
what if we take the barrel, the bucket off, and make like a loop of chain at the end, and we try to loop it, we try to lasso it up."
Okay, yeah, Ireena says, "Oh, that sounds fun." Okay.
Yeah, if we could get it under its under the
Sort of
torso,
around
lifted from the shoulders.
Yes, yeah.
All right.
Okay, before you go through with this, and this is just me having watched The Walking Dead for God knows how many seasons, of course. What's stopping the insides from falling into the water?
Oh no, the inside's already in the water. It's just a torso.
Yeah. No, but the great question here is with a wet corpse. I don't know how many wet corpses you guys deal with, but
it'll sort of fall apart. Yeah.
Yeah. Like a good barbecue. Like a good barbecue.
It's just gonna
Well, so after if we can pull the thing up, then we can
Gross.
rappel down and collect the bits, and then
Correct. Okay.
Yeah.
So you want the living zombie part, or living, but the animated zombie part. You need to deal with it. Got it.
The majority of it.
Yeah, so pull up at the shoulders, and if it falls, at least we still have
That
the
is a
head.
great idea. You guys make a lasso essentially out of the chain, and I need somebody with a good sleight of hand.
That's going to be Reed.
Okay.
I think I have the highest. I'm like a plus 6.
Go for it. Roll that sleight of hand. Go for that.
All right.
All right. It takes a few tries, but eventually you do get it wrapped around the zombie's neck.
Not what we wanted, but at least we got the part we need.
And
we'll at least get part of it this way.
Ismark starts to haul it up, and everyone readies actions, I'm assuming. And then you're just going to ambush this dude as he comes up and just try to wreck him.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll warn people to beware the claws.
I'm gonna ready
arms
my
might come
action to swing it out to where it's not above the well, if I can, so that if we start attacking it, it doesn't get chopped up and fall back into the well immediately.
Okay.
Soup.
Good move. So you're gonna do that push with a reach item kind of thing. You have a long thing you're gonna
like a pitchfork or something that I'm sure that we can.
There's debris from buildings that have been abandoned and falling apart. That kind of thing. All right, so you have like a 2x4 essentially, and you're gonna push the body as soon as it comes up, and then as soon as it swings out, he's gonna lower it again, so it slams against the side of the well, and then everybody's just gonna Julius Caesar just stab it over and over again until it's dead.
Yep.
All right. That sounds good. We do not need to roll any checks for that. You guys had a well thought out plan. You executed it successfully. All right. So these guys are not a problem anymore. All right. Now you could lower someone down with the light source, and I'm sure there's no more dangerous things down there.
Oh god. Now, Matthew is smaller than Reed, right?
I think he is about the same height, but he's definitely not as built, or at least not as defined as you are. But he's a kind of a beanpole, yeah.
And just to confirm, this well is probably too big for Darius or Ismark.
Correct, yeah.
Oh god, yeah.
And the chain probably.
Well, no. I mean, you guys could fit, but it would be a claustrophobia nightmare for sure.
No thanks.
Yeah.
They all
Like
have-
your broad shoulders would not be scraping on either side, but you would feel like you did not have any room to move.
Reed looks at Matthew, who I assume has no interest in going down.
Yeah, Matthew shakes his head. He says,
Okay.
Just board it up. Just board it up.
These people need water.
Yeah.
They drink the rain or whatever.
Mackenzie, you don't feel
Not all
comfortable
of
either, right?
Mackenzie could fit, but
Yeah, that's why I looked at her.
She also has a broken arm, so
yeah,
Oh, you know what?
because he stands behind Darius and says and tries to not take up too much space, as everyone is wondering who could go down the well.
I have no injuries, but
Yeah.
it's going to be hard for me to pick up something heavy, just to be honest.
I mean, we took out the heaviest thing, right?
All right, Ireena says, "Okay," and she puts her foot in like the loop that you made, and she tests it, and she says, "Lower me down."
Sure.
Yeah. What are we looking for, though?
Just
big
trying to
parts
clean out the debris.
Yeah.
All right.
But if you see anything moving,
Do we have something for me
call
to
up.
scoop everything up with, or?
Ismark, do you have a
a
second
bucket.
sack?
I
Because he had the big one.
There's the bucket.
wish I had like a fishing net or something.
God, I guess I could give her my near empty backpack, but that seems gross.
All right. I'll just go grab it. I'm gonna have to take a bath after this. Ugh.
Do you want me to do it, Irene?
I mean, if you wanted to, I'm not going to stop you. But I mean, I'll do it. It's our town. This is my patients that have been I've been failing. So I want to stop this from happening.
But should something happen, you know your brother is right there.
Yes, but if something happens to you, what about Matthew? And Matthew says, "I'll be fine."
Just whoever goes down, the moment you
Yeah.
see something move, call out so we can raise the line again.
Yeah.
You're not there to fight something. You're just there to pick up debris.
Oh shit, I just realized I have a broken left hand. Does that still work? Can I still use it for something?
I feel like Reed's probably the right guy to go down, which sucks. It's just, I just don't know if I can hold on to a chain because I'm weak.
With all due respect, Reed, you're weak as shit. No offense.
I mean,
we
I'm
all know that.
acrobatic as fuck.
Ireena says, "If you have broken hand, I don't know if it's safe for you."
Okay, we flip a coin.
All right. She tosses a coin in the air, and you can call heads or tails.
Tails.
All right, tails is 2. So it came up 1. It looks like. So she says, "All right, lower me down."
At least take a knife.
She says, "I have a knife."
Oh, okay.
All right. So
Yeah,
she has.
lower her down.
All right, so she kind of wraps her arm around the chain, which looks like it'd be very painful, and then she, well, no, she takes some, she takes like some some rope, essentially, ties her arm to the chain so that the chain isn't wrapping around her arm, but then she kind of has some stability there, but still can move the arm. That arm, she's got the sack, and then she's just gonna, I guess, bare hands, be just scooping shit into this sack. And you guys start to lower her down.
Yep.
All right. Let's see what happens. Perception check. Oh no. Okay.
Do we need another torch? With that would probably.
Oh
help,
yeah,
right?
she would need. Yeah, she would need some kind of light source to see.
I'll try the mirror trick again.
I think
see if
Tiernan
it's-
has the bullseye lantern, don't you?
Yeah. Anything that doesn't have a specific person assigned to it, we're assuming Tiernan's carrying. since
Okay,
he's
so you're gonna
really
shine the
strong.
bullseye lantern down.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So as you lower her, bullseye lantern, all that stuff. Okay. Let us see. As she gets closer down, Okay. She says, wait, slow. There's a hand we missed. I'm gonna try and throw it in the bag. Okay, lower me slowly.
Alright, we'll do so.
Okay.
Slow as he's
Oh
able to.
shit! Alright, so, read.
Damn.
Yeah. Alright. She says, alright, it's in the bag! And then you hear her beat the bag against the side of the well over and over and over again. She
Like
says,
Jason with a sleeping bag.
yeah, like a full 2 minutes later, she says, it's not moving! Keep lowering me!
Do so.
Ismark,
right.
your sister's impressive.
She is something else, to be sure. So, an hour goes by of her just scooping up guts and pieces of person and all of that. When you haul her back up, she just looks downcast, and she says, the water is just disgusting. I don't think that this is going to work. We need to find a way to purify the water, but there's so much of it. I don't even know if we could like come up with a chemical compound to put in here that would do it. Or if we found one, we'd have to make so much of it.
Okay, that.
But you know what? In the abbot that lives in the Abbey of St. Markovia.
Here it is,
Uh,
Ismark.
I look at Ismark as his eyes rolling.
Yes.
Yeah.
He has magical healing. We could go to him and we could tell him what is going on, and I bet he would have a solution.
But in the meantime, let's board up this well now that it's cleared, at least.
Then we can make plans of going all the way to the other side of the country.
All right, so we're closing down the well for now, and we'll tell people the truth. You'll
Due
turn
to
into
contamination.
Yeah, you'll turn into a zombie if you drink this water.
Yeah, that's an approach.
Listen, if you tell them, you can use someone poop in it, they're gonna be like, I don't care, I love well water, it's so delicious, and they'll just do it anyways. But if you say, listen, you're gonna turn into a zombie, and I think at that point, you're just, that's that, you know? Like, who's so dumb that they would still want to drink the water?
You know,
You all
your
have-
town.
You all have
yeah.
told the people of this town that there's zombies around, right?
Everyone knows, yeah.
Okay, then they probably would not want to have that happen to them.
Okay. And Ismark says, excellent. I'll head home. I'll grab supplies. We'll come back. We'll board this up. That is us for the rest of the day. I don't know what the rest of you want to do, but you're welcome to help, or if you have other business in town. If you're willing to go and maybe speak with Father Donovich, I don't know how he will receive you without me there, but maybe you could learn something that I was unable to.
I actually want to chat up. What was her name? Mirabelle.
Yeah. At the tavern. Yep.
Yeah. So that's what Reed will go off to do later.
Okay.
Eric will call Darius for a moment.
Walk over.
And he'll take Ismark to the side with him, if Ismark would follow.
Okay. Ismark was getting ready to, hop on his horse and head back to his house, but he's like, duh.
Now, previously you did tell us information about the missing people and
Yeah.
Donovich, right?
Yeah. I imagine we did an info dump when we met back at the tavern.
Since
Yeah. You guys know remember when you guys met up in the middle of town, I said, does anybody withhold any information? Nobody did, so everybody knows everything that everybody else did today.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Since you brought up Donovich, perhaps me and Darius can check things out, see if there's any proof other than the symbol you guys found of his involvement.
Like, head over to the church?
Sure. If he is the guilty party, which I hope he is not, we do not want him to escape without explaining what happened and maybe telling us where the people are, if they're still alive, or even if they're buried. I need to know. So don't do anything too confrontational, but see if you could maybe find out something that I might have missed. I consider myself pretty good investigator, but apparently even some clues can slip through the cracks.
Certainly.
Maybe we do that tomorrow morning. We kind of just got here, so maybe we just rest for another day and then talk to the priest in the morning.
But what if someone else goes missing?
What? You said that the barrel maker was one of these missing people. What is there any sort of personality trait or profession or time of activity that connects any of these missing individuals?
As a devout follower of the Morning Lord, I don't like putting these puzzle pieces together, but what Mackenzie pointed out is very damning evidence, because the first people who went missing were the acolytes who worked at the church. And then the other people who went missing were those who would need the church for help, those who were touched in the mind or were simply too injured to work their profession anymore and depended upon the church for its hospitality. And then, with this situation, yes, I am afraid. I'm afraid that those who are closest to the church are the ones that are disappearing. Now that
When's
this
the last time you saw the father?
when we went to bury, his name was Jack. Jack.
Yeah, we saw him, I guess, yesterday. I think it was mentioned that he holds service every couple of days.
Yes, he has evening service every night. Well, not night, sorry. Evening service, and then it ends right before sunset to give you a chance to get home. You do not want to be at the church when the sun goes down. Unless you really like to watch ghosts.
Wait, what's that about?
That's where the parade of the damned, they rise up from their graves, and then they march through the streets, and then they leave, and they march all night to Castle Ravenloft. No one's told you about this yet?
Some old dude was talking about a parade.
What did he say to you?
Some creepy shit. Like, can't wait to see us in the parade.
Yes, he's assuming that you will meet the same fate as so many other outsiders do. People think that they can take their grievances to the Dark Lord, that they can force him to release them back into their world, and they die in the attempts. Their spirits join this parade, It is meant to be a sort of warning to those who would stand against him. It is said that when the parade reaches its end, as the sun is beginning to rise, all of the ghosts throw themselves off the cliff at Castle Ravenloft, only to rise again the next night and do it all over again. It is honestly a very spooky and impressive display, but once you've seen it a few times, it's not that great. The ghosts do not harm anyone, but it is unsettling to witness.
Well, I stand by what I said earlier. Maybe we talk to the father in the morning.
All right. Why don't you help us close down this well, then? If you don't have anything else you need to do.
I mean, I'm fine with that.
And I will speak with my father about compensating you for what you've done here today. She is a bit of a weirdo, but this meant a lot to my sister, to have people to help carry the burden, to help her figure out this disease, and perhaps not save those who are affected, but at least stop it from affecting others. So thank you.
You're welcome.
I guess Darius will kind of turn to Eric and be like, we don't know if there's going to be another service. Maybe after we close this down, we can take a look, but I don't think we need to confront priest just yet.
That could work. After we finish this up, we just head over to the church for the evening service and then
See what it's
just
about.
observe. Yeah, that is a good idea.
I'm okay with that.
Okay. So, Anna, you've done a great job of managing the crowd and selling the pastries. You are pretty sure Morgantha will be impressed with the profits that you have managed to generate. Izzy seems to have a bit of a guilty conscience, but says nothing about it. But you kind of get the sense that she has regrets and is starting
to get the sense.
Yeah. Let's see. I guess even without oh Jesus Christ, your insight's so bad. Never mind. You have no idea that Izzy feels terrible. Oh my God.
That's one
yeah,
way to
you have.
say it.
Yeah, you have no idea that she feels bad about this. But
I
yeah.
just tell her she did a great job helping.
Okay. Yeah, and then she says, "You don't need to say that. That's fine. We did what we needed to do. It's okay." All right. So what now, Anna? When you kind of reconvene with the others, that seems that most of them, except for Reed, are planning to sort of work on closing down the well. Reed is apparently heading back to the tavern.
I mean, am I going to be much help with the hammer and?
Oh no, absolutely not.
I mean,
Yeah.
She would probably help with the well,
Okay.
assuming that it'll get done before sunset.
Okay. Tiernan, Izzy says that if it's all right, I'm gonna go with Reed. I just feel like I'd probably be in the way.
You that's fine if that's what you want to do. I'm not going to keep you from
Okay.
doing what you want.
I just, like we're in this together, and I just want to
No,
make sure.
I appreciate it.
Okay. And she says, Reed, are you still here?
yes, of course. And I'll kind of take her hand, and
All right.
we'll walk back together.
All right. So we're already at 1 Eastern. Wow. It really flew by.
That flew by. Yeah.
We had tutorial stuff at the beginning. I'm okay to play a little bit longer if you guys are able, but if no one is able, or you feel like it's a good stopping place, we could just stop here. So
I have something to do at 1:30, so I can't.
okay, fair enough. Okay, so what we will do next time that we have all of that out of the way is I guess we'll just pursue this. We won't need to do any rolls or checks. You guys shut down the well, and that's fine. And so whatever Reed and Izzy discuss, that is the first thing that we will cover next week. And then you guys, I guess, unless they find some momentously interesting thing that distracts you, would then head over to the church to sort of just attend the service and see what's going on. And we'll kind of take it from there.
Sounds good to me.
Alrighty. So, good session. Any session where people don't get injuries, don't die, don't turn into zombies is a good session. So, good job.
Zombies seem like normal D&D.
I don't know what kind of D&D you'll play it. All right. So, anyways, quick announcements tonight. We got Mythic. Tonight we got Mythic Odyssey. Good times. No pressure. They're having a great time. They don't need any fan inspiration or anything like that. Don't worry. They're fine. Tomorrow, level 18 high level play continues. I don't know if they're fine. I guess they'll be fine. It is what it is at that point. So Tuesday, Cyberpunk continues with Dom. And also, I will be streaming the player view of Pathfinder 2 Abomination Vaults. So that will be a new series that will be streaming between 8 p.m. and 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that will start Tuesday night. So if you're interested in Pathfinder and learning Pathfinder or watching somebody else struggle to learn Pathfinder, that is what we were going to be doing on Tuesday nights. I don't know if it is a selling point, but other people that will be doing it with me are Remy, who plays Philippocles in Odyssey Prime, and then also Stone, who plays Cyrus in Odyssey Prime. I don't know if we have. I think we might have 1 or 2 spots left. If anybody is interested or knows anybody that's looking for a Pathfinder group, the time was moved back to 8 p.m. to 11 to accommodate more people, because apparently 6 to 9, while perfect for me, was not convenient for like anybody else. And then Wednesday we got Monster Hunter. Thursday, Curse of Strahd Nightfall, and then Friday, Orpheus is doing Rime of the Frost Maiden. Saturday morning, we've got Red Hand of Doom, and Sunday morning, we will be back here. So that is our week coming up. Lots and lots of stuff, lots of games, lots of streams happening on the server. Oh, and next Saturday night, or this coming Saturday night, we will be continuing our Solasta playthrough. So if you want to hang out and listen to that, and that's what we're doing next Saturday, or this coming Saturday night. All right, anyone else have any announcements before we adjourn?
Nothing here.
I redid my board game room, and it looks amazing.
Oh, okay. Congrats. Yeah. Where are the pictures? Where are all the pictures at?
I haven't shown my friends yet. I will take pictures after I do that today.
Okay, fair enough. All right, then hope everybody has a good week, and I will see you next time.
Great, thanks for running.
Awesome. Have a great week, everybody.
Yep, you too. And thanks everyone for tuning in. Catch you next time.